Hello, everybody, and thanks for jumping in for what's going to be hopefully a little bit of a series I have going here for the movie club. So, this is going to be the first episode that I'm trying out. And joining me today is Ashley or Zombie Girl. And well, I'm going to go ahead and bring her out right now and introduce you. So,
Hello.
Ashley, sorry, I'll pop you right in there. So, thank
That's
you so
fine.
much for coming on tonight.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're this series I thought would be a fun way to have some chats, getting to know some people a little bit better, and just have some fun. Taking a look at movies, reviewing them, and well, not never really reviewing, but talk about them and see if people want to watch ahead of time and join in on the chat too. And if not, you and I will have a nice conversation about the movie for tonight. So,
All right.
but no, I appreciate you jumping in. One thing the first thing I'd come across you pretty early on in Instagram and seeing a lot of pictures that you were posting about your collections and pickups. But one thing that really jumped out to me was, I don't know, the pictures, and I'd say the quality compared to what I'd say I put out on Instagram. So that really drew me in. And so is that something that, um, I don't know, that it's a hobby, it's a career, the photography piece of it, because it seems like you have a lot more to it in your pictures than what I put into mine.
Well, what was it? I was in my early 20s and I was going to concerts a ton.
Okay.
That's what I was spending my money on then. And I wanted to do something in that field, so I just picked up a camera one day and I did tons tons of concerts. And I think the last concert I shot was 2018,
Okay.
and I don't know, I just kind of like fell out of love with it. And then when 2020 happened, I got bored because I lived by myself with my dog. And so I just was like, you know what, I'm going to just share this. I mean, I have a huge collection, so why not share it with people?
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's fun. It's so fun it's fun to have for yourself, but I think it's even more fun to share with other people and get their feedback and see their collection as well. And that was going to be one of my questions is too, is when did you start into Instagram? So around 2018, did you say? Or,
Um, well, I've been around on Instagram basically since it came out.
okay. Okay.
But with this page, it was 20, yeah, it was summer of 2020.
Okay.
So I've been around in this realm since summer of 2020.
Okay. No, like I said, I'm impressed with the pictures. That's where I just started doing it to throw out some of my movies, some of my collection just to share with people.
Mhm.
And no, I need to get a little more creative with that. So, but
Well,
go ahead.
it's not a lot. It's just, I just have a little bit of editing and then I just make a background.
Yeah, I know. I know.
That's all I do.
I'm still working on my background. That's a work in progress. I kind of jumped into this and haven't gotten into that yet. Um, but do you have, and I'm going to jump in the chat. Everybody that's joining in, thank you so much. I see we got like 13 people out here right now, I think, and I see the chat going, and I will jump in there and run through that quick. But I was excited to start talking with Ashley, and sorry, just went into some of the questions, and we'll take a break and we'll go back and forth. But when you brought up your photography and shooting concerts,
Mhm.
do you have a band or a concert that really stands out? It doesn't necessarily have to be your favorite band, but a concert that really stands out in your mind of you really enjoyed shooting that show.
There was a lot, but I mean, I'll give you my three most memorable
Okay,
ones.
yeah, do it. Or
Okay.
as many as you want.
My first memorable one was the first concert I ever got to shoot, and it was at the House of Blues in Hollywood because I used to live in California,
Okay.
and it was Newfound Glory
Oh,
was the
nice.
headliner, and they were actually the ones that gave me the photo pass. And then we were the in crowd, and I can't remember what the third band was, but it was so like that was so fun. And the bassist from Newfound Glory, he just kept getting in my face and doing his weird little faces that he does, and that was an absolute blast. And um, I have this thing with, so Paramore is my absolute favorite band of all time,
Yeah.
and I've seen them 6 times, I think.
Okay.
Every single time, I've never met them, but I swear, the Haley from Paramore,
Yeah.
there's always, like, a gate. There's always a gate in between her and I.
Okay.
Never officially met her, she's always just that gate in between us, and at that show, she was there because she was still with the guitarist,
Okay.
and I was just, "Oh my" every time this happens to me, but that was a lot of fun,
Okay. I
and
can see why. Yeah.
the I would say was it Warped Tour 2016?
Okay.
I got to shoot so many bands that day, and I had shot Yellow Card prior to that,
Okay.
but they have been one of my favorite bands since I was, like, 11 or 12, something, whenever they came out, and I got to shoot them, and they were on main stage that day because that was in San Diego,
Okay.
and they're pretty big down there, so they got to be bumped to main stage or whatever. It was an absolute insanity. There was water and just everything being thrown. I'm sure there was tons of beer being thrown too.
I was
So,
gonna.
that was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I could see where that'd be a wild time. So
And then was that the first time? No, I think that was the second time. I think earlier that year I don't I don't particularly like Ice Nine Kills, which I know a lot of people in the horror community does. Like, I don't
yeah,
think they're terrible. They're just not my cup of
not
tea
your
all the
thing.
time,
Yeah.
but they're ton of fun to
Oh yeah.
shoot live, and they were one of the first bands, or maybe the first band I even shot that day, and I remember Spencer jumped over me and this other chick that were shooting right next to each other, and he just jumped into the crowd, and he was just crowd surfing.
Yeah.
I was just like, "Okay, I may not love this band, but they're a lot of fun to watch." But and then my last one,
Yeah.
the last show I shot was Hailstorm,
Okay.
and that was one of my favorite bands. I saw them opening for Uproar Fest in 2010, and they were outside meeting people, and this was in Bakersfield, and the only thing Bakersfield is known for in that community, I guess, is corn,
Okay.
because
Okay.
corn's from there,
Yep.
and it was it was them, Stone Sour, um, Avenged Sevenfold, and Disturbed. I
Okay.
didn't that was when I started to actually kinda shoot shows. I would take, like, my point and shoot
Yeah.
and get stuff, and it was so much fun, and me and my friend met them when they weren't even big. They had just, like, came out with their CD,
Yeah.
and then in fast forward to 2018, I got a, photo pass for them, and they had the absolute best lighting I have ever got to work with, so
Yeah.
I was just having a field day.
I say you loved it.
Yes, and they interact with not only the crowd, but with the photographers as well, so that's always a plus because then you get better pictures, but
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely. Oh,
that was
what
a lot of
great.
fun.
No, that sounds like fun. That'd be some really great experiences. So, I'm going to go ahead. I know that we got, it's got some people jumping in here. So I'm going to run through the chat just real
Okay,
quick and then we're going to pick back up there. But I love, those some great stories. I'm sure you have a lot more of those.
I have tons.
I was going to say, maybe we'll have a part two sometime if you can put up with me. So, all right, well, we're going to jump in here. We got, what's Johnny watching? What's up, cool kids? Hey, Johnny. Nice to see you. Tim, nice to see you as well. Collector Movie Man. What's up, Corey and Zombie Girl? Got Holland. Holland Oates. He is everywhere. He is. If you go to any like movie, physical collecting live stream,
Oh, I've
a lot of
seen
these people. Oh, I was going to say, and
I've seen him.
I was going to say that should be something. I was going to come back to that too. Is it how active you are in live
I
streams?
try to
Like,
be.
okay.
I try to be, but sometimes I'll just watch and not interact because sometimes I just I don't wanna stir a pot or something.
Oh, sure, sure. Sometimes it's fun to be I did that for a long time and I still do it once in a while to be the fly on the wall, just kind of sit
Yes.
back and take it in. But absolutely. Got Steve Moody. Howdy all. Thank you. I actually watched the movie you guys are talking about, and I enjoyed it. Good, good. We'll
Awesome.
hopefully get here pretty soon to that. Uh, Saying hi to each other. That's kind of fun with this community. Everybody, you start running into the same people sometimes, or in little circles, and so
Yeah.
it's fun. But all right, Tim talks Takis. I've never been skiing or snowboarding, but Frozen was enough to scare me away from it. I put a little fear in me a little bit too. So I could see if you're, but yeah, we'll jump into that a little bit more when we dive into the movie. That's funny. Steve, I missed the homework assignment. I guess I'll just listen. Steve, no problem. When we get to the movie part of it, I'm going to throw up a little banner. I'll have a reminder too that we're probably going to cross into some spoiler sections. So I'll have a little banner running at the bottom when we're doing that. If you don't mind spoilers, stay and listen, or wait till we get through that part of it, or yeah. So it's definitely worth a watch. I'll say that, not to do a spoiler, but okay, Michael, what's is Movie Club about? So Movie Club was something I was thinking of doing. I couldn't come up with a more creative name, but I was thinking of like a book club where, you pick something out for the week or the month, and you look at it, and as a group you can come together, get to meet new people, and talk about the movie a little bit. The big thing with it, I wanted to try to find movies that were readily available, at least in the US, to stream for free. So this one's on Tubi. You might have commercials, but it's an uncut movie. That's the thing. I can put up with commercials sometimes if you don't have the physical copy, if you get the true movie and not like
Yeah.
a network TV edited version. So you'll probably see a lot of pics that, and then I always kind of say, if you want to go out and buy the physical, if you want to rent it, whatever, you can feel free to do that. But people would not have a barrier to participate, a dollar barrier. Everything's more expensive, and you got to pick and choose wisely how you spend your dollars. So I thought that way you wouldn't have to make a decision on that. It's just whether you'd want to watch the movie and join. Laren, how you doing, buddy? Hey, Wilk and Ashley, what's up? Laren's another cool dude. He's a neighbor to the east of me a little bit in another state, but pretty close. Tim, I agree with you, Corey. Your picture quality is top notch.
Oh, well,
My,
thank you, Tim.
oh yes, I'm assuming you're talking to Ashley, but
Yeah, I think it
yes,
was when that was.
yeah. See, that's the problem. I get behind a little bit, and then
Oh, it's
sometimes you
fine.
get the notes here. But Laren's saying hi to each other. We'll get running through these real quick, and then, oops, the monkey. This stream will be a treat. I've seen her photos out in the world. I always think they are a treat. So that's
Well,
there
thank
for
you.
you. Yeah. It's nice to hear a little nice feedback like that
It
once in a
is.
while. Yeah. Saying hi to each other. Kind of run through here quick. Johnny Holland. That's all right, Monkey. I knew what you were talking about. You're good. Holland, you got a newfound glory fan there. It looks like, Ashley.
Hey, they're awesome. I can't blame them.
You can't blame. I understand that. All right, saying hi. Let's see here. We got also yellow card. Holland likes yellow card as well.
Awesome.
Spicy 4K action, huge down here as well. So he's out in California. So I'm assuming he's. Reed? This is Reed. Reed, were you talking about maybe newfound glory? I have to see. See, that's
Well,
where I get off.
I was about to say all those bands I
Or all
listed are
Cali.
well, they're not from California, but
Okay.
they're super popular in California.
Okay. Well, he's out that way. So Tim, I actually went to the Warp Tour 2016 as well. Yellow Card was the last band I saw that day because it downpoured at the end of their set and was going to rain the rest of the day. So
Hey,
you
it's a
just called
good
it quits.
band to end on.
There you go. So at least you had a great band to finish the day off. If it got cut short early, at least you got them in on the show.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They're saying hi. I always love all the chat and but it's just, man, sometimes it's great, but to keep up with it, sometimes I'm still getting used to it. Spencer, totally understand theatrics. Oh, he loves it. So that's Ice Nine Kills, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I know of them, like you said, the horror community. I hear them talk about them. I don't personally. I haven't listened to the music, so I'm not familiar with. I mean, I know who they are, but
Yeah.
he must put on a pretty good show. What's up, y'all? Hey, Ken. What's up, man? Mid-level media in the house. We're gonna probably see a million hi Kens here. everybody loves Ken. My Killer Podcast. Mel, what's up? How are you doing? Yo, what's up, everybody? she's a fun one too. I actually got to meet up with her. That's the fun thing. Some people in the community started doing some meetups if you're somewhat in the same area, but then there's some people taking some big road trips. And uh, the one I went to looked pretty tame to a few others I've seen, but well, that's all I'll say with that. But it's a fun time. It's a little different when you meet them truly
Oh
face to
yeah.
face.
I live in the middle of nowhere now, so that's probably not going to happen.
Oh, I'm close to that. I'm probably just a little off of where with you, but I'm kind of out in the country a little bit. So
I'm about 6 hours from every. Well, Vegas is 2 hours,
okay,
2 hours from me, but everything else is about six,
yeah. Well,
which I'm cool with.
yeah, yeah. No, sometimes it's nice to have that little bit of separation. And I'm in Iowa, so everything seems like it's far away from there. So we're what they call the flyover state, right?
Yes, but hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's good. I love it. I can go visit places, and I love to travel. So Tim said. Lizzie Hale is one of the nicest people to meet in person, and their music itself is really good. I just wish I liked their lyrics more. Okay.
I I can see it's a little decisive on that, but
Okay. So would you
get you.
agree with him or you
Um,
politely disagree?
maybe it's because I'm a chick. I
Okay.
can, but I mean, they got some dirty songs, and I mean,
Yeah.
not relatable to me, but I can still jam them.
Got a little edge to them, huh?
Yes, it's like,
Yeah. Okay.
oh no,
Yep. Oh, they just said that. All right. More saying hi to everybody. Mel's getting all the highs. Highs back. If I skip anybody, I apologize. I'm not trying to. So I'll try to hit some of these so we keep things moving too. But if I do skip you, I apologize. And it's not for any reason. So, all right. Born to be rad. How you doing? What's up, peeps? Thank you for jumping in. Man, it's always fun to see how the people turn out. Saying hi. And sometimes I got to get better at just skipping by some of the good evening. Hey, Tony, how are you doing, buddy? Basement Blues. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet on YouTube. I'll tell you that right there. Never got to
definitely.
meet him in person, but he's a cool dude. Have you checked his? Like, so when we're going through some of these, are you recognizing any of the names of channels that you've maybe
Oh
checked out
yeah.
before? Okay.
I just don't want to interrupt you, so
Oh,
that's why I'm just sitting here. But
I'm
hello,
sorry.
everyone.
Yeah.
No, you're fine.
You know what? You won't hurt my feelings if you tell me to shut up because I'm going to be honest. I'm a little bit nervous and I get a little more chatty each level of nervousness that goes up.
That's all right.
So if there's anybody personally that you see on this, say, Corey, shut up. And then say, hey,
Oh,
whoever.
no, it's fine. I mean, I watch most of these people that have channels that do stuff. So
Oh, that's
that's
cool.
I don't have streaming. So if I'm not watching a movie, I'm usually watching YouTube.
Okay. No, I watch it a lot too. That's what I ended up,
It's
not that I
free.
want, yeah. Well, I was the sucker that I decided to pay for the premium because
Hey,
I, I stopped it because I was like, it wasn't worth it to me at one point. And then we don't need to get into politics, and I'm not saying one side or the other. Both sides annoyed me when it was leading up to an election, and all the ads I was getting,
yeah,
both sides. So I'm not going one side or the other, but both sides. And I was like, here's my $20. Take those commercials
I
away.
don't blame you.
Yeah. So you can understand at least, right?
Very much so.
Yeah, I wish I liked their music streaming, the YouTube music more because it comes with it. But I'm a sucker for a few other streaming music services, so I still pay money for
Yeah,
those. But
I only have Apple, so I
okay,
don't know.
okay, no, that's all right. Cody, Mr. Film Addiction, hey buddy, haven't rewatched the movie yet, but anything from Corey, we're down. We are down. Thank you, man. You are on the big screen. Oh man, please hit the like button, but please warn your wife and daughter not to walk into the room if my face is on a big screen right now. So that's been the most intimidating thing when I hear people say like, "Oh yeah, I got you up on my 75-inch TV," and I'm like, "No, you don't need
Well, that's
that."
what I watch my YouTube on,
Okay,
and that's a 65-inch. So
okay. So same thing. You got the big screen on there. So yeah, I don't know. I get self-conscious about my face being up on a big screen, I guess.
it's not that bad, I promise.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Caveman, how we doing, man? Just wanted to say hi. Thank you for saying hi. I believe you got a stream going on tonight as well, so I'll be catching the replay for sure. My good friend. Saying hi to Cody. I would definitely like to do the movie club with you, Corey, and if Zombie Girl's involved too, but I do have limitations on horror movies. Yeah, that's one thing when you go through
Understandable.
here. Yeah, everybody's got their different tastes, and there's nothing wrong with that. You just like what you like. Saying hi, Michael. How we doing? What are we watching for? I'll have to get some more stuff out. I have had when I decided to jump into this streaming more. I had all of this craziness kind of come up and in the life, nothing bad, but just got very busy at the same time. And yeah, we'll say I'm getting on it. I'll get some stuff out. But hey, Monkey, imagine going into the video store that year and a child picking out that version. Yeah, and that was just funny when we were picking these out. You were like, what do you want to watch? And you're like, just don't put it all on me. And I was like, okay. I did the cop out and I'm like, you pick 3 movies and I'll pick one out of those. I know it's a total cop out.
I knew you were going to think it was the Disney one, so
I
that's
did.
why I put the year on it.
I did.
It's like, I mean, if you're down for Disney Frozen, I might as well.
I'm glad you put the year in there because then I looked and I'm like, wait a minute, 2010. And I looked at it and I'm like, okay, that's not the one she was talking about.
Yeah.
But I did think that for a second. It gave me a good laugh, if nothing else. All right, Laren. And that child was me. Just kidding. Yeah. Laren, you got scarred. You thought you were getting the Disney. Gizmo, glad to see you in here, bud. Huge down here is, yeah. All right. Gizmo is an awesome guy. He's got a different sense of humor. I love it, bud. So we got some international folks joining us. Gizmo's out of Norway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he's at early morning hours. That dude, I don't think he ever sleeps.
I was about to say, what time is it there?
Well, I think they're at least 7 hours ahead of us. So,
Okay.
yeah. So he's early morning hours, but yeah, he's got a new young one in the house that probably keeps him up a little bit too, but
Oh, yeah.
huge movie collector. All right. Ash Paramore is one of my okay. Yep.
Good taste.
Yeah, there you go. Got agreement there. Saying hi. Okay, I'm gonna try to skip down here a little bit. I know.
Bless you.
Sorry, we're gonna get to him in just a minute. I want to talk about him too. So, Anthony, buddy, how are you doing? Hey, everybody. Anthony Horror Moore. Thanks for seeing you. Saying hi to Garrett. Born to be rad. Anthony, you're late. Lauren, how we doing? Hope everyone is doing great tonight. I'm doing wonderful. Ashley, you doing good?
I'm doing solid.
Solid. We'll take solid, right?
Yes.
I know you were struggling a little bit earlier in the week, but
yeah, definitely.
But hopefully better. And I appreciate you still jumping on. I know getting over some of that stuff isn't always fun, but all right. Corey is the man. Thanks, Cody. Don't make my head too big. You don't need to do that. All right, Tim. I do YouTube Premium as well, Corey. I hate ads, but still want to support channels I watch. I know. I thought it still did, in a way, support, but it probably isn't as good as the ad. And that's where I was torn, but I've just gotten to, in the streaming world, and not having cable or satellite TV or any, I've just gotten spoiled with not having commercials, and it's hard to go back to them. Laren, I would like to know about Ashley's dog. Yep, we're going to talk about. That's one of my questions I wanted to bring up. We'll get there, but hell yeah, for the people who watch YouTube on the big screen, I do most YouTube watching on a 77-inch. Oh wow, you got a big in there, Tim. That's a big TV. What your dog doing? We might as well just bring it up right now since it was one of my questions, but I loved it. That was one thing. And that's one thing I always thought you were very cool with on Instagram is, throwing out a question for a post. And it seems like you're always very responsive on those. And not that I send out a lot of them, but just once in a while, like I'd run across a picture and you're like, the movie I'm watching tonight. And I'm like, hey, there's a little guy laying down there at the end of the bed or something. And so how about you tell us, who's your little movie watching buddy?
His name is Pilgrim, and I got him almost 10 years ago now because I got
Oh,
him
wow.
December 26th of 2013, and he turned 10 in October. So, but he's always been the type of dog that just hangs out. When I had him as a puppy, I was really into Walking Dead,
Okay.
and if the zombies were on the TV, he just watch it the whole time. I don't know what it is about this dog and zombies, but he likes them to this day.
Okay.
But
Awesome.
yeah, he's always down for a good movie because he likes to take his naps,
Okay. And say
which
he's doing right now.
I think he's kind of in and out. He's not snoring yet, so
I thought I saw a little movement. A couple. Oh, he heard his
oh,
name. I think I see a little
he's
movement.
stretching.
Okay, so I have like a 93-pound yellow lab. Is my
93.
Yep.
Wow.
But the thing is, it's crazy. So his name is Jax, Jax, Jax,
Okay.
and he's not he's not fat. He's just a huge frame dog,
He's
big
a
dog.
solid dude.
Oh, he is, and I'm not like a little guy, but he can yank me around. He's strong too, and so he's a challenge. And then I don't know, all of us in the house, it's if he wants to go see something, you got to either decide if you're hanging on for the ride sometimes or just
Yeah,
letting him go. But no, he's a big ball of crazy,
that's awesome.
but love him to death. Yep. So I was gonna say hi to. I saw Tiana jump in. Hey Tiana. So we got more international. That's our Canadian friend,
Yes.
Tiana.
Hi there.
Saying hi to. There you go, Tiana saying hi to you.
Well, and look, and I'm drinking a Canada Dry. There
How
you go.
appropriate. How appropriate. All right, saying. Oh, Gizmo was a big fan of Mel. Nice. Yeah, it's like I said, he's got a great sense of humor. So he's Mel's biggest fan, but he's on a diet, so soon he'll be a normal size fan. So very funny, Gizmo. You skipped mine, Monkey. If I skipped one, I totally apologize. There's quite a few here, and I'm still a rookie at this. So if I did it, it's totally not intentional. I really apologize. If you want to throw it in again, I can try to catch it. But thanks for joining, though, Monkey. I appreciate it. Tim, premium actually sends more money to accounts you watch than ads do, so no worries. Oh,
That's good.
yeah. Well, I feel a little better about it then. At least my money's going to something, but Corey, you can't help it if you're a natural. I don't know about that. I appreciate the flattery, but I don't know about that. Gizmo, sleep is overrated. I'll do that when I'm dead. Plus, I'm at work, so hard to sleep. And oh, okay, so you're already at work. So freezing cold studio. Oh, he's he's in the film industry. We'll say that, and it's cool to hear some of his experiences.
I'll bet.
Yeah, he's had. We were hearing all kinds of stuff when he was traveling to the U.S. to do filming. But he has a really cool video where he was doing clips with put along to music of all the countries that have filmed in Norway, and
Okay.
he called it Hollywood Loves Norway, I believe, or um, it's a pretty video to watch, but it's amazing how many big films you didn't realize were filmed in Norway, but they do have
I don't blame
a
him. That
yeah,
place is awesome.
beautiful country. Yeah, absolutely. Zombie Girl, are you a fan of Game of Thrones? And I really like your Last of Us post you did on Instagram.
Well, thank you for that. And yes, I watched that show from the very beginning and ended it the day it ended.
Yeah, so big
Wasn't a
fan.
fan of that.
Well, I've heard that of a lot of the big fans of that series.
It was it was such a it was too I think it would have been better if it wasn't so rushed.
Oh,
I
okay.
I couldn't stand how rushed it was. I mean, granted, I didn't love that ending, but I would have appreciated it a little bit more if it wasn't just crammed into just a couple episodes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, don't hold it against me, but there's always some movie or some series that you have not seen before.
Mhm.
At people just look at you like, how in the world did you miss that? And that's one of them. I just never
Well, I
watched.
haven't seen The Office
There you go.
or Friends, but those aren't my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Like I'm cool. It's awesome that people dig him, but
Yeah.
I don't. I guess I just like more depressing things.
Hey, each their own. And that's why they make, it'd be so boring if we all like the same thing. So,
This is true. I mean, but Gilmore Girls is my favorite show of all time, so it's not super depressing.
that's a big mix. So,
I I I go everywhere.
hey, but that's all right. Don't put yourself in a box, right? And
Exactly.
but no, that's funny. Gilmore Girls. Huh? I haven't seen that forever. That's been
I,
a long time.
I it is so how people feel about The Office, just them rewatching it.
Yeah.
That is how I am with Gilmore Girls.
Okay.
I can't even tell you how many times I've rewatched it.
A comfort show then. You always have like
Very
those comfort.
much.
Okay. You just throw it on and have it on and you can
Yes.
oh, that's awesome. Scottish Geek guy, howdy folks. He is actually from Scotland, so we got some more
Oh,
international in
well,
here. So,
hello.
yeah. Mika and well, I'll say Mika, but Mika and
Yeah,
Kira, if you're there too, I'll say hi to both Mika and Kira. So hi
yeah,
everyone.
both. Hello.
Yeah. Spoiler, I might have them on next month. So
Oh, I'll definitely tune in.
yeah, yeah. I was getting all these. It's kind of funny. Like I've started reaching out to. I didn't plan it real well, and I'm not saying like, oh, I'm so popular. But I started. There was just so many nice people. I think maybe felt sorry for me and started saying like, yeah, we'll do it. But I sent
No.
out way. I think I sent out way too many at the right off the bat, and then I felt bad because I was like, I totally was like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, I got to schedule you in, but I was at the most I was going to do is one a week of something like this.
Gotcha.
Um, Maybe that will change if time allows. But so when you do that, and I sent out, I think way too many and all these nice people like, sure, we'll talk with you. And so now,
Now, I think people just really like to talk about movies because, I mean, in my real life,
yeah,
I can talk about it with my parents and like family, but they don't like it to the extent that I do.
yeah,
I think maybe my mom is closest because if I haven't seen like an older movie, especially like a lot of movies on Criterion,
yeah,
I will literally, I'm like, Mom, is this a good movie? Oh, yeah, it's good. Buy that one. So I'm just like, okay. So when people ask me things like this, I mean, this is the second time I've done one. I'm just like, hell yeah, I'll do it.
yeah. Well, no, that's where I was like, well, so and there's probably so many of us that are in a similar position like that, where this was just like giving me that outlet to talk about some of these things because I just didn't have a lot of people that right around me that were as excited about talking about movies or music or anything, pop culture. And
Yeah.
it's just, I don't know. So then so even me, when I hear somebody come back and be like, hell yeah, I'll talk to you about that. Then it's like, oh, really?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's awesome. So I did see Laren had a question here. Is Pilgrim a fan of John Wayne? Or should we ask, how did the name come about?
Okay. So most people immediately ask me that.
Yeah.
Not that I don't like John Wayne because I grew up on John Wayne, but I actually got his name from Jeremiah Johnson, and it has Robert Redford in it.
Okay.
And there's this scene cracked me up when I was a kid, and it's when he meets the mountain man, and it's after the the Indians skin like scalped his wife and his son's head and whatever. Terrible. But
Yeah.
um he meets this guy and he traps a grizzly bear in his cabin. And then he
Oh,
looks at Robert Redford and he just goes, "Do you know how to skin grizz, Pilgrim?" And when I was a little kid, it just cracked me up because I'm like, this man is insane. He
yeah.
just trapped a grizzly bear. And then I don't know. And then when I got him, I just looked at him. I was like, his name's Pilgrim.
Pilgrim. That's
He,
such a great name.
it matches him.
Oh, that's perfect. It's funny with our dog Jax.
Hmm.
We had our kids. We said they could name him, and we got him as a puppy. And so they were going through all these. I think they were just starting to Google like popular. This was like 6 years ago, and popular names, and that one came up. And I didn't even put it together, but I think it was really popular. I ended up finding out with a lot of people with dogs' names because it was the Sons of Anarchy
Yeah.
the character, and did not put that together. And so it was probably like 6 months later. We were like, somebody was like, "Oh, you got a new puppy?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Jax." And like, "Oh, you guys love Sons of Anarchy?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, that is the guy's name in there." I
Yeah.
completely forgot about it.
That's a good name though.
Yeah, it's short. It's you can get it out quick.
Exactly. Well, see, my nieces and nephews, when they've all gotten like old, well, when they were little, when they first started talking,
Yeah.
because he's the same age as my oldest nephew.
Okay.
So them trying to say pilgrim obviously is not going to happen when they're kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, so I think it was when my second nephew, because I have five nieces and nephews,
Okay.
and it was when my second nephew was born, like around that time. He called him Pip or something.
Okay.
So if my family just wants to get it straight to the point, they just call him Pip.
Pip. Hey,
It's
that
like,
works.
okay, whatever.
Those one syllable names are good with pets in case you gotta get it out
Yes,
quick. So,
exactly.
but well, I'll say hi here, Allie. Thanks for jumping in. Hi
Hey,
everyone. Allie, good to see you. Awesome to see you, Zombie Girl up here. Love your page.
well, thank you.
Yep. And obviously, from your comment, you're very familiar with Mika and Kira. And
Yes,
yep.
I've definitely spoken to them on many occasions. I think
Oh,
more Mika than
yeah.
anyone.
Oh, they're awesome. That's where you can run into so many nice people that are so upbeat, so friendly, and so willing to talk to you about movies or answer questions. If you're a new person like me jumping into some things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And see, Mika understands my love for Jodie Foster as an actress.
Okay.
So anytime something like that, I'm just like, ooh, like when the True Detective
Ah,
came out, I was like, did you see this?
that's the
Or
first thing
she did, one of the two. I just remember one of us did that.
that was the first thing I thought of when you said that. I'm very interested to see that when it rolls out.
Me
That
too.
True
And I
Detective.
will actually get HBO just so I can watch that.
Yeah, I currently have Max right or whatever they call it now, Max.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, you know it, HBO. But yeah, there's a lot of good movies on there. I was debating whether I was going to keep it, but then that popped up, and I'm like, I might have to keep it for a little bit longer,
Yes.
or at least resubscribe when that rolls out. But Gizmo, what do we got here? Hey, Zombie Girl, seen what? Okay, sorry. Sometimes I mess up my reading, but have Zombie
Sorry.
Girl seen Dead Set? British Big Brother zombie miniseries. Great freaking series. Only 8 episodes, I think.
I have not. I definitely will write that down and also check it out because I like that kind of stuff.
Ah, I'll have to check it out too. I've never heard of it, but that's what's fun, especially say hi to each other. That's what's been cool too. Like we'll meet new people, different walks of life, and getting recommendations of things that you just doesn't mean you didn't like them, but it just passed you by. You didn't hear about it. But
Hmm.
then Gizmo and a lot of other people that are in the international realm getting foreign films recommended has been really cool too, because there's definitely things that just don't get pushed in the US that we just don't have an opportunity to hear about.
There's a lot of good foreign films, actually.
And that's what I've been finding out. And I finally got over my issue with subtitles, and now I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I was being, I guess, the stubborn American for a while. And I just, I'm not the world's, and you probably find this out when I'm doing the comments here, but I'm not the world's fastest reader in the world. So sometimes it took a little bit to get used to the subtitles, especially in action oriented movies. But
I can understand that.
yeah, Mika, love Gilmore Girls, fall staple for the doubles. Rewatch it every year.
It is. Definitely is.
Yep. So you could definitely uh, relate to that.
Yeah. I'll watch it anytime, but fall, definitely.
Doesn't have to be fall.
No.
Yep. Holland, I need you to see Cruel Jaws and Deep Blood. It's your kind of films, I promise. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, so we might have to take that with a grain of salt. But well, speaking of like times of year, like watching a movie, I said this on a stream not too long ago, but I was getting a little grief from some people. So sometimes I get up super early on Saturday mornings,
Hmm.
and everybody else is asleep. I'll go put a movie in and headphones in and watch. And there's a lot of times there's horror movies I'm watching, and they're like, no, you can't watch a horror movie at 6:30 in the morning and the sun coming up. And so I think I was asking that, and some people were like, "Oh yeah, you got to have it dark and like set the mood." And then I think it was Mika, I think, that jumped in. She's like, "Horror, basically all day long. It's good anytime." But how would you stand on that?
Um, I don't care. I
Yeah,
am literally just gonna watch it whenever.
yeah, yep,
And I have blackout curtains in
okay,
my room, so it could literally be the brightest day and I can watch a movie like it's midnight in here. So,
yeah, that's awesome. You don't have any glare, so all right, you're on Mika's side on that. So
yes,
I'm okay.
very much.
I'm okay to be watching a horror movie at 6:30 in the morning then. So
I well, when I used to have this one job, I worked weird hours and
hmm
I had to get up at like 3 in the morning. And for the first like 4 or 5 hours I was there, there's nothing. You literally did nothing. You just opened it and you made sure pumps weren't frozen. So
hmm
I just go in the office and watch Walking Dead
okay,
because it was during that time. So, I mean, this is 4 or 5 in the morning, and I'd watch Walking Dead. I'm like, I don't care. It's
yeah.
what I want to watch.
Well, it still would have been dark probably at that time, so you would have had that going for you, maybe.
In summertime, no,
Oh, okay, okay,
but well, 4 in the morning, yes, but 5, no.
getting a little
Where I
late.
lived, the sun was up by like 6.
Okay. Uh, Laren was saying it looks like he's a big Jeremiah Johnson fan as well. More
It
people should check it out.
is definitely that movie's awesome.
I've seen the cover of it. I know what you're talking about. I have not watched that one, so I'll have to add that to my watch list. Holland, okay. Sorry, I'm kind of going through some of these. Gizmo Corey. This was ironical to Holland. So okay. So sometimes there's some inside jokes going on, and
That's
I don't
fine.
like them. Dirk, how you doing? This is the man with the handle that I always have to say slow because I mess it up if I try to go too fast. So subjective perspective collective. If that's not a tongue twister,
Hey, that wasn't too slow. You
uh,
got it.
I'm getting better. I've been chatting with him a lot more, so I get to see it more often. So
Gotcha.
so I've been practicing. I'm like, I'm gonna get it right next time, or
He
not.
that is a tongue twister though.
Absolutely. So I love this. Everybody's interacting. I promise we're going to talk about a movie too, but as long as we're good chatting. Ashley, are you still good
Oh,
chatting
I'm
along?
fine.
Okay, okay, perfect. And as long as everybody in the chat is good with it as well, I promise we will talk about it. It won't be like my name, uh, Wilkie's Movies and Music, and like all my videos so far have been only music or movies and not anything music. This is a movie club. We will talk about a movie at some point. So we have been talking about movies, and that's not the one I put on the tag.
It's fine.
That's all right. There's no rules, right? We can just talk along.
No rules.
Yeah, there we go. Saying hi. We'll see here. Sorry, jumping through here. Some of these I'm not reading, guys. I'm not slighting you. I just, if you're saying hi and stuff, I might just kind of run through them quick. Ryan, movie was Ryan. Just stopping in to say hi. I'll catch the replay tomorrow. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. That's what's fun seeing all these people. Like, how many different YouTube channels or Instagram or both pages going on between most of the people in
Yeah.
here, and it's fun to see. Collector Movie Man, have a good night, everyone. Good night,
Dude,
Collector Movie Man.
get on the
Oh,
bed. You're gonna fall.
Pil-
Sorry.
no, that's all right. Pilgrim's going for a roll. If you have to like reach over and do a little catch in a little bit, that's all right.
That'll hurt. That's not a little drop.
Oh man, our dog, he sleeps in some of the weirdest. He's like a contortionist. Like he'll be on his back, but like one side is twisted a one way and the other's the other. And I was like,
Yes.
I don't know how he does it. I couldn't do it. Saying hi. I think we're just about to saying hi to oh, I passed Texas, man. How you doing? I didn't mean to pass you. I try to see you at least say hi once if I see a name pop up. All right. So let's see here. Saying bye. Okay. I'm going to put a star in that one. And we can get to the movie here in a second. But I was going to ask a couple other questions as long as you're game for them.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like, it's my little like, oh, I got somebody that I found interesting. I just want to find out some more stuff. It's kind of like so on Instagram, I've noticed sometimes you'll throw out, and some other people do as well. And I need to figure out how to do it. But the ask me anything kind of anonymous,
Oh,
questions that people can, you post it once in a while, I believe. And
yeah.
um, So I know I asked one time what your favorite time of year was, and I believe you said, "Are we in it right now? Christmas time,
Close.
fall,
It's winter, so
winter." Okay,
yes.
so so you're getting into about your time of year. So the one thing you don't have to go into any detail, but do you enjoy putting out those anonymous questions? Are they more fun than not? We'll just say that.
Sometimes.
Sometimes it
Sometimes
depends.
people are unusually mean,
Oh, really?
and
I was
I
thinking more the
don't.
creepy side or
Well,
something.
I don't get too like I'm not one of those girls that gets the unsolicited pictures.
Oh,
I don't get too many people hitting on me. Maybe it's because I don't show myself that much. So that's
but
kind of nice, but
yeah, I was gonna say it's a good thing you're not getting that.
yeah, well, that's not what I started this page for. And
Yeah.
I'm not that kind of chick. Like, if somebody is, cool, you do you, whatever, I don't care.
Yep.
Um, Not my thing.
Yep.
But I don't know. Some people are just mean. I'm just
Yeah.
like, well, okay, I don't really recall really being that rude to anybody, but
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. It's interesting. I've ran into a little bit of that being newer, probably not as much as others like yourself that have, like you said, you've been on Instagram since the thing probably pretty much started, but
Yeah.
but for a long time, putting all your movies out, and I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting when you run into that and you don't know. I, I do that all the time. I leave a comment up for a long time, but
Well,
it's go ahead.
and people don't really like if you don't like a movie they like.
Yes.
Wow, do they get angry? Or I've noticed in recent days, I absolutely love some of these movies, and these people are just shattering. Like when I was logging Frozen
Yeah.
into Letterbox, half the people that I follow, I was like, what? Sometimes I'm like, do you guys take movies too seriously? I'm like, do you know how to enjoy a stupid movie every so often?
Well, and I'm that way too. Like I like a great mix of things. So it doesn't always have to be high art.
Hmm.
Sometimes some good cheesy stupid fun is just what you need.
Exactly. And I'm just like, sure, people like the people in the movies are doing stupid things, but you're
Yep.
just like, I don't know, I find some fun out of it because I'm like, well, I'm not that dumb, so we're cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you weren't like on there saying, "Oh, this should have won the Academy Award for that
Oh,
year" or anything
God,
like that.
no.
You were just like, "Wow, that was a blast," or or something like that. Or
Yes.
I had fun with that one. Or
Well, like, what was it? The Don't Open Till Christmas.
I haven't
And
seen
just, it's a B movie to the max.
that. Okay.
And it's got some great kills in it.
Yeah.
And it's nothing like, oh, please give the Oscar to this. But it's just fun. It's like,
Right.
okay. But then I watched another movie that a lot of people didn't like. It was more on the downslope, and it was that Deathcember or something like that. Of
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
um, I don't know. I I can handle like Saw type stuff, like that torturing thing. I mean, it's not really my thing, but
Mm-hmm.
I can watch it. But if you do weird things to children,
Oh, yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Just I'm not a parent, but I have that instinct in me of you protect a kid regardless if it's yours or not. And when I see things like that, I'm like, why are people allowed to put this out?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Like the other ones on because it's an anthology.
Mm-hmm.
And the other ones were just kind of stupid fun. And then this Gumby one comes up because they had to do it in animation or else it wouldn't have been able.
For it to be
And
that.
I'm just sitting there, I'm like, why?
Why?
Why
Yeah.
did you need to do that?
Yeah.
Like, we all know that sick things happen. You don't need to put it in a movie.
Yeah.
I just, no.
I would agree with you. That would be a hard spot for me too, because I do have kids. But even if you don't have kids, I think you can relate to that. But you even said you have your nieces and nephews, right? So I mean,
Yes.
so you have that. Yeah. No,
Well,
I'm right there with you.
my first job was with kids.
Okay.
Like, I literally worked at a daycare for a year and a half,
Okay.
and I was 15 to about 17.
Yeah.
And I've just always had that. And I can't do it. If you, it's one thing to like kill the kid, which is
Mm,
terrible too.
right.
But if you just do it quickly, whatever. But that, it was, and I see that the Gizmo guy is asking, and it's the Gumby segment. It looks like Gumby,
Okay.
and it's about, they're trying to make it about like the Catholics, doing
Oh,
their
oh,
thing.
gotcha. I gotcha.
And yeah, just I got to that and I immediately shut it off because I think that there was one in ABCs of Death that was also in the same kind of vein as that one.
Yeah.
There was one segment that was kind of that too, and I was just, it wasn't as bad as Gumby, but it's like a hair worse, like
Yeah.
right there. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
like it.
That sounds like one I'll be
Yeah, you
passing
skip.
on. Probably. I'll
Just
probably be
skip, especially
passing
if you
that
have
one.
kids.
Yeah, absolutely. But um, Allie Gizmo says he's old and grumpy, so we'll come back to that. But so, like said, oh, and then I didn't want to miss this. Lawrence said you need to tell Pilgrim he is adorable.
I will.
You will. You will. You'll be sure to do
He's
that.
over there.
Yeah, doing his own thing. So outside of the, obviously, I think with your name and a lot of the posts I see, you do love horror movies. You like that. So if you had to choose a genre outside of the horror realm, is there anything in particular that jumps out that you're like, oh, I'm not going to watch a horror movie? This might be a genre that, or a, you know what I'm saying, that
Um,
you would go to first, or maybe not.
I like a lot,
Yeah.
but um, my favorite movies of all time are the Lord of the Rings movies.
Okay.
I absolutely love those movies. So probably in that vein, like fantasy.
Fantasy.
I
Yeah.
mean, I would say it's fantasy or drama. So it's one of those two.
Yeah. No, that's very cool. So we were talking about some of your experiences with concerts and some of your bands that you enjoy, and I see you, post things once in a while on Instagram of clips of music. What's something current on you? You were talking, you listen to Apple Music.
Hmm.
Do you have anything? What would be currently in your queue right now? Anything that you're listening to a little bit more recently, or a new band, or even an old favorite that you got rolling?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I listen to basically the same music I have since I was a teenager,
Yeah.
with some handful of new bands. But I make my own playlist
Yeah.
because that's the millennial in me, I guess. And I, I don't. I've just been listening to a lot of Seosin, and then
What was that one? I'm sorry.
Seosin.
Oh, I don't know that.
Um, they came out in like 2003. And what's funny is the original singer left. Hold
Oh,
on a
no,
second.
you're
My
perfectly
dog
fine.
wants to go out.
No, that's okay. I'll run through the chat here a little bit, so
Okay,
that's perfectly fine.
it'll literally take me 2
You
seconds.
got to take care of the little buddy. I understand that.
All right, just a sec.
Yep, you're good. All right, let's see what's going on here. If I read one more than once, I'm sorry. Anyone seen From the Heart, a 4K 82 movie that was just announced? I have not seen that, Gizmo. And probably read that already. We read that one. Saying hi to Ryan. Gizmo, one movie at a time. Yep. I'm waiting for this cold winter season that we have coming in because that's when my viewing jumps up a lot. Corey, not liking a movie I like. Nah. Johnny, I feel like I'm constantly on this walking on eggshells with you that I just stepped over a line once and then now it's just kind of rocky territory, but we'll see. Hopefully I can mend those fences one of these days. So going through here, we got Michael. My Lord of the Rings movies are signed by Elijah Wood. He also signed Sin City and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. That's cool. I I don't have much for autographs. Do you have anything like that in your collection, Ashley? Like a autograph or
I have a few autographs.
yeah? Do you have one you want to throw out that you were you're happy you have? I mean, not that you're not happy about any of them, but
um, my favorite is probably my Robert Englund one,
oh, cool.
and I got it at 2009 Comic Con,
Okay, cool.
and you actually had to do like a scavenger hunt to meet him,
Okay.
and I didn't have to pay for him because I know that's a
Yeah.
thing now.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And you had to do a scavenger hunt to meet him, and there was only like 5 people that did it. So me
Hmm.
and my cousin got to hang out with him for a little bit, and this was before smartphones. So I don't know what happened to those pictures of the disposable. Maybe my cousin has them, but that's my favorite one.
Oh, that's very cool.
But that's pretty rad though. Elijah Wood with all those.
Oh,
Those are all
yeah.
great movies.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say that that'd be pretty cool to have any one of those, but to have all of them, that's cool, Michael.
Heck yeah.
So, all right, we're closing in on an hour into this. Are you still going strong?
Oh, I'm golden.
All right, absolutely. That's awesome. So I figure at this point we could probably jump into the movie that we picked out to watch for the night if you want to. Or we can keep on chatting, or we can even chat
Go with
after we
me.
talk about the movie too, so we can see what people are feeling like. But so as I said before, we probably will cross into some spoiler territory talking about this. We won't go through and read the whole movie, but so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw this ticker on the bottom for spoiler alert. I don't want to, I can understand it. It can suck to get a movie spoiled for you. I don't think this is probably one that is higher up on the spoil list, maybe, that people would get super upset about, but I could be wrong. So that's why I'm like, I'm going to throw this up here. If you watch the replay, if that's going, there's going to be a spoiler happening or potentially, and I'll come back and take that off when we get done talking about the movie. So we'll see. If you don't mind spoilers, if you haven't seen the movie, just you can go ahead and drop out. But so the movie we were taking a look at tonight, and I can just go big here real quick to show I actually went out and got a physical copy of it, but we got Frozen, the 2010 version of that. So I'm going to come back here and just a quick, I went out and it was such a short and sweet little synopsis of it on IMDb. I thought it was kind of funny, so I had to read it. It just says 3 skiers stranded on a chairlift are forced to make life or death choices, which prove more perilous than staying out and freezing to death. There you go. You got it wrapped up all in one little fun bow there. So that was one thing with the movie. So when I watched, I told you I had not seen it before, and I started watching it. I remember little bits and pieces. So I think it must have been on cable. Back at some point, I just saw part of it. I don't
Mhm.
remember the whole thing. So if I saw the whole thing, it was pretty much a first time watch for me. But I believe what you were talking about. This was not a first time watch for you, correct?
No, I've seen it several times.
Several
Like I
times.
have
There
it
you
too.
go. Yep. Well, that's why I figured. I was like, it might be kind of fun to try to pick up some of these while I'm having these talks with people. But
Mhm.
so you obviously don't hate the movie if you've had multiple viewings of it.
No.
But like you were saying, would this kind of fall into what you were talking about? Maybe your stupid, cheesy, fun type of movie. Just shut your brain off. Don't think about it too much and just go with it.
Kind of. It's I mean, I can watch the movie and enjoy it. Like it doesn't bug me by any means. They do a lot of stupid things.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So, I mean, the first time I watched it, and I watched it when it initially came out, I don't remember if it was what, just 2010. I think my Blockbuster was still open.
Okay.
I used to go there almost every day.
Yeah.
But I rented it then, and I liked it. And see, I wasn't really on the internet as much, so I didn't know that lots of people thought it sucked. I was just kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
it's not as bad as people say, but all right. But no, I like it just fine.
Well, that was one thing I did too. I meant not. I didn't do. I didn't go out. So I'm on Letterboxd, and I know you are as well. And that was one thing when we picked this out. I purposely did not go out and look to see any of the people that I follow what they, if they had a rating, like a star rating on it. I was like, I'm not going to look at that because I didn't want to go into it with any. I kind of figured what I was getting into when I just read the little synopsis of it.
Yeah.
But I was like, I just didn't want to get swayed one way or the other. But yeah, I'd say that too. So after I went out and looked, and I saw a wide. There was not a lot. Well, there was probably a little bit. Some of the people I followed, there was
Hmm.
some really high scores and some like super low scores, and there wasn't like a lot of in between. It didn't feel like.
Yeah.
Do you kind of come across that as well with the movie?
Oh, most people gave it about a 3,
Yeah,
and then there were some people that gave it 1
yeah,
or 1.5, and I'm just going, you haven't seen a lot of movies, have you? Because a 1,
yeah,
mm, I could see a 2.
yeah. You're like, that sounds like a challenge. I can find you one that's worse than that.
I can
That,
give you a ton that is worse
yeah, exactly.
and better, of like in worse production. I
Yeah.
mean, this thing was shot so nicely.
Well,
Like, what are you talking about?
and that was some of the talking points that I was kind of writing out on this is like, and that's what I was going to ask you, what you thought about the cinematography, because I thought too, well, look, I'll let you go first. You were kind of just starting to talk about it, but
Oh,
what did you think about it?
oh, I absolutely love it. I'm from like the high desert in California,
Hmm.
and I mean, I live in the high desert here too. But I've always been somebody who likes the mountains. I've gone snowboarding a couple of times. Wasn't very good. So, but I like being in the mountains a lot. And this portrayed that, and being on that ski lift.
Hmm.
And then just the shots that they would get of the mountain and everything. I was like, thank you,
Yeah.
because you literally feel like you're there with them,
Yeah.
and you're just. I can feel the cold through the movie.
Yeah. No, I think they did a very good job with that as well. And I love the mountains too. I love to travel quite a bit, and my family, we like hiking quite a bit or mountain biking some.
Hmm.
Nothing crazy with the mountain bike, but no, when it opened up and you got the panning shots of like the mountains
Hmm.
and the snow, and no, I was like, that's beautiful. And even sometimes throughout the movie as well, even when it was in some, some bad spots, like for the characters of the
Hmm.
movie, there were some beautiful, beautiful views of the mountains, or just bringing that environment into the mix. And like you said, it made you feel cold just
Yes,
seeing it.
and that's what I wanted. It's called
Yeah,
Frozen.
yeah, I know. And that's where I was going to see like how well could they do this with, okay, the cover art kind of gives it away a little bit. So you open up with these three friends. There's a boyfriend and girlfriend, and then the best buddy of the other guy. And um, there's a little tension in there because his best buddy is now with his girlfriend a little bit more, and the whole idea is they're doing this ski day out at the mountains, and um, they get on the runs, they get going, and basically mistakenly get left up high on one of these chairlifts with a winter storm blowing in, and it was shutting down for a week about. So it's like
Hmm.
open it from Friday through Sunday, and it was Sunday night closing down. And it's not going to open back up till Friday. So exactly what I was thinking when I was kind of looking through some of the comments here too, like Mika saying love Frozen. Good. So you got another fan out there, but then she was saying here that there are some perilous choices to be made in this film indeed. And there really were. And like you said, stupid choices being made in a movie. So some of the silly, fun, turn your brain off movies have a lot of stupid choices being made
Hmm.
throughout the movie. What would you feel was the first major stupid choice or decision that was made in your mind when you're going through and watching it? If you can remember, I'm not, or I don't know how recently you've actually watched it.
Well, I watched it yesterday.
Okay, perfect.
Um, when they decided to go on another run,
Yeah, there.
immediately I was like, "You're an idiot.
Yeah,
It's too dark."
it's dark. People are leaving. The guy, even the ski lift operator, I even think says, "Hey, a storm's rolling in,"
Hmm.
kind of a thing too. And yeah, so right there, you got that going. But then I got to think like through this entire movie, there's a series of like this group has the worst luck ever. Like there's so many things, and maybe that's why some people don't like the movie. Is like,
Yeah.
okay, come on, one of those things happens to them, but then the next and the so it just
Oh
so
yeah.
happens a different guy replaces the man at the lift. He's like, hey, just so you know, there's three more up on the hill. Don't let them come down. Don't shut it down. So he's gone. It happens that three other people were out there, come through. The guy didn't know what they looked like, so he's like, oh, there's three people. So they just happen to have three other people come down and they shut the lift off and they're stuck up there. And then throughout the whole thing, there's like so many little things that happen that I'm just like, wow, they have the absolute worst luck out of
Very much
anybody
so.
known. So did you, I know some people might not like it for if you have a fear of heights. Does that bother you at all? Did that whole point of them being so high up on this, it's kind of a little swinging chair, the ski lift.
Um, Heights can bug me
Yeah.
depending on, I don't know. Sometimes they have, sometimes they haven't. It's really weird, but I watching this, I have to put myself in a mindset that I know back east is very different than out west
Yeah.
because the mountain that I went snowboarding on, um, they use it for like Olympic people. So
Yeah.
they have lights, they have all this stuff on it. And the one thing that drove me absolutely nuts, even from the beginning, is when the guy that lets them back on, he puts that flag in the one chair. He's supposed to wait till that thing comes all the way down, and
Yeah.
that flag never came down. So it was like this guy, the guy that took over, I was like, he's imbecile,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
imbecile. But I mean, I could definitely see the fear though of being up there and then you're
Mm-hmm.
stuck and you're like, there's no way that you could truly survive that fall.
Yeah.
I mean, without what happened.
Yeah. So maybe we should go into that, like talking about the stupid choices and if we're okay with the spoiler section of it. So like you said, there was the boyfriend, and I'm terrible at remember character names, so I had to like
Here,
write some of
I'll
this
I'll
stuff.
tell you.
Was it
This is how
Dan?
I remember. This is how I
Okay, go
remember
ahead.
them.
Go ahead.
So the guy with the beard is Iceman from X Men.
Oh yeah.
The boyfriend is the dude from Air Bud, and then the girl is from The Walking Dead.
Oh, okay.
She was one of the sisters or something. She died in like the third season or something. But that's
Okay.
how I just like the Air Bud kid and Iceman.
Yeah. So then it was Iceman and the Walking Dead girl that were the boyfriend girlfriend. So I was writing it down. I think.
Oh no, Air Bud in Walking Dead
Oh,
shit.
Airbud. Sorry, I said that
There
wrong.
you go.
See, I'm
I
already
don't even
messing it
remember.
up.
It's fine. I don't even remember what their names were in this movie.
So I wrote it down, and as
What
this
is
first
it?
time, I was like, so it was Dan and Parker were the
Okay,
boyfriend and girlfriend,
gotcha.
and then there was Joe, but a lot of times they were calling him Lynch. It was Joe Lynch is his name, so it was either his
Of
first or his
course.
last name. So
Yeah.
so you had Joe, Parker, and Dan up on the ski lift. So they finally get to the point where they're having the fear start setting in. And one thing, not to kind of jump around, but when we're talking about music, I actually think they did a good job with the soundtrack or the score
Oh
of the
yeah.
movie. So you open up all optimistic, having fun, going out on the ski day, and you have your 2000s rock, alternative rock, whatever going on, and really upbeat. And then for the rest of this, when you kind of have more of the fear starting to set in, they had a lot
Hmm.
of good orchestral, like strings and drums, and even sometimes they threw in kind of like a heartbeat sound when it was like in a really. And
Yeah.
I think it did a. What did you think about the
Oh,
score?
I thought it felt it definitely built that tension and what you want it to do.
Yeah,
So, I mean, you felt like, oh my God, they're stuck.
yeah,
How are they going to get down from this?
yeah, yeah. So they have the big storm blow through. They're freezing. There's ice over everything. There's like a cable above them, and I don't know how far of a drop, but a very very far drop. And Dan, the the boyfriend, decides the only way they can save is he's gonna jump off of the ski lift to, and like, even if he gets hurt, he can make it down the hill. Okay, that was um, my first cringe of the movie is what actually happened to him when he jumps off of that,
Oh,
and the sound effects that went along with it.
they were great though because
Yes.
it made you squirm. You're like, oh
Oh,
god.
any injury to, I don't know, well, probably a lot of things, but I had a knee injury in high school, and nothing like what was in this movie. But I think ever since then, any type of knee, leg,
Yeah,
ankle injury, I start cringing up. And so this one went pretty bad for Dan.
yeah, real
So
bad.
yeah. So the noises we hear are, the legs pretty much opening up and a bone sticking up through it. And
Two.
yeah. So yeah,
Both.
so they do the look down shot from the ski lift, and you see like Dan's legs like going like way wrong directions, and so he figures out he's not going to be able to be hurt and get down the hill, and then bad luck item number 2 pops up. Wouldn't you say?
I I mean, to be honest with you, when I watched it this time, I kind of thought it was a little that was like really cheesy, but I get it because they were just trying to build the tension a little bit more. But
Yeah, yeah,
it is definitely horrible luck.
yeah. So you got wolves that come into the
Wolves.
picture. So yeah, no, and maybe we don't need to like maybe, and I'm sorry, this is kind of my first time having the conversation through this, and so maybe I don't want to like have to go through step or put you through step by step everything that went through the movie, but I was just that was kind of highlighting that point of how much bad luck can this group have, and they just that to did you okay, so that was my cringe number 1. I had multiple kind of like a ooh, I'm not saying like I looked away, but I just kind of
Yeah.
ooh. Did you have any other, I mean, probably the leg one, but was there anything else within some of their bad luck things that made you kind of go, or you're just like, that's no big deal?
Her hand
Yes.
when she fell asleep and she
Yep.
but my thing, I was just like, man, is this woman like superhero? How is she still it was frozen all night.
Mm-hmm.
How did she move her hand?
Right.
Like she literally was moving her fingers and pulled it off and I was like, how do you you don't have blood there, sweetheart. What are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. So like with that, losing her glove, falling asleep, wake up in the morning. And it was kind of funny though, too, because it was like, oh, it's a new day. You had the beautiful shots again of the sun coming up the mountains. I'm like, oh, this is pretty. I was like, maybe it's a new day. They're going to have some hope here. And then you pan down and she had lost her glove earlier, and
Yeah.
you see the panic on her face when her hand is not coming off of that security
Yes.
bar that is across there. And then that moment when she,
Pulls it.
yep, rips the band-aid off. That was another cringe that I had with the movie. I don't know if anybody else in the chat, if you watched any of these parts or anything, chime in if you want to. Maybe everybody's just listening around. I know that we probably had some people drop off if they didn't see the movie, which I understand. You don't want to have it spoiled. That's cool. But if you want to jump on anything, but yeah, because yeah, they couldn't catch a break. They really couldn't. Not at all. Holland. Dan definitely caught a break. He
Yeah.
multiple, well, at least 2. I mean, but there's yeah, Holland, good for a joke there. So we were talking about some of the dumb decisions that were going on with this. We talked about the soundtrack with the characters. Like I was kind of curious how they were going to make this work because going off of the cover of the movie, I was like, and it did end up being kind of like a I don't know what you call it, but like a one scene movie. I mean,
Yeah.
you're a
One
captive.
location.
Yeah, location. That's what I want to
Hmm.
say. You're on this chairlift most of the time with these 3 characters, and how are they going to build tension? How are they going to keep you on the edge of your seat, interested? And do you think the director did a good job holding your? I mean, you still could have had fun with it, but did you feel like if this is a thriller, were you on your edge of your seat? Were you invested in it? Were you bored at any time, or did it keep you held in there?
I I didn't find this movie boring
Yeah,
at all. Like it keeps the tension going pretty much since the moment it starts, honestly, because
yeah,
it's like you're watching these 3 people trying to get on a ski lift for free
yeah,
or for cheap at least.
right.
And then you just kind of go from there, and it just keeps building, and you just keep having more and more terrible luck. And then maybe it was because I was like 21 when this movie came out,
Okay.
that it kind of was in my like age range.
Mm-hmm.
So you could kind of like relate, like, okay, he's the third wheel. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that nobody can't relate to that, but I was in that stage of my life of like, okay, people are getting boyfriends and girlfriends. And if you're not, you're kind of always the third wheel. And then him getting mad at his friend, you kind of have that like just bond with him,
Mm-hmm.
that you're like, okay, well, I could feel like this guy, or I could feel like that guy, or even the chick. Like, you, at one point in life, you're typically one of those.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I found the characters pretty relatable. I don't think the acting was bad by any means.
I.
They definitely kept me like,
Yeah.
oh shit,
Yeah.
me
Right.
please.
So you could relate to the characters. Is there any of the three that you felt like you related to more than the others? Their particular situation, or just across the board, you're like, I could see myself being in each of the. Or go ahead.
I mean, probably at that point in my life, I was more like Lynch, but I
Okay.
didn't. I'm not, I'm not a really clingy person, so
Yeah.
um, I could understand though, of like, you're losing your best friend
Sure.
to this chick that obviously means a lot to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been there, but I've also been the couple. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but at that point in my life, oh, Lynch all the way, because it was like all my friends were getting boyfriends or even
Yeah.
girlfriends, depending on if it was a dude, and I'm just like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go hang out over here.
Yeah. Okay. No, I could see that. I mean, and I think a lot of people could relate to that. Like you
Mhm.
said, I think a lot of people have been in that spot before where you feel like you're almost losing your friend a little bit because you're not spending as much time with them. And no, I could definitely see that. Now, since pretty much the main characters that we're with most of the time are the three, are there any of them that you didn't care for too much or got annoying to you, or did they all go well for you in this movie?
No, they didn't really bug me. No one really annoyed me, because it's like I can see these people, people like them exist in this world. So
Yeah.
they just, no one bugged me. Like, I
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh, he's dumb or she's dumb. I mean, yeah, are they sometimes making dumb decisions? Of
Right.
course. But you have to also think these people are in their survival mode. And
Yeah.
it's different than, say, mine, or probably even yours. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So it's kind of like, okay, well, I got to give them a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
Plus, they have terrible luck. So,
Yeah. Just keeps on rolling for them. But well, I mean, yeah. Speaking of the bad luck, so you kind of skip ahead when she finally. Not that I'll have to like go scene by scene, like what's happening here, but when she finally gets down from the onto the ground and she finds out what has happened to Lynch, another bad luck moment.
yeah, a
What
little
did you
bit.
think when you saw that? Were you like, "Oh, come on," or you're like, "Oh yeah, it could have happened," or
No, that was a more, oh, come on,
yeah.
because he was on a snowboard.
Yep. And the wolves are chasing him and he's got the bloody hands and
But he was sitting,
right.
and it's like, I mean, I know that dogs can run fast, wolves, whatever. But I don't know. It was just, unless he, hit a berm and went off. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think he was kind of off. He wasn't
Hmm.
exactly on the trail.
Right.
So I could kind of see that. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, really? He
Well,
can't even?
yeah, it's like, well, he didn't catch a break either. Or,
No.
had the wolves, but that's where I was kind of, I don't know why I laughed at that moment when I was starting to think about that when he was trying to go down on so he had skis and the other two had snowboards. And so his buddy Dan was making fun of him earlier. Like, hey, why don't you, step up and be a snowboarder? And he's like, I still like ski. Snowboarding won't stick around, kind of a thing. And at that moment, I was like, man, if only he would have been snowboarding, he could have clipped into that thing because he had the different
Exactly.
boots, and um, maybe had a little better luck. But how did you think? So now we're like tailing down to the end of it. Were you satisfied with the ending of the movie?
Um, for what it was,
Okay.
because I mean, it's not like this big movie. You know what I mean? It wasn't like something that went to the theaters, or maybe it did and I didn't see it.
Yeah.
But um, I don't like with movies like that. I don't like expect just tons from an ending. I mean, it had a conclusion.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know how I could. I won't lie though. When she gets in the road, I when I first saw it, I was just like, she's gonna get hit.
I
Gonna get hit by somebody.
So I did the same thing. So she finally gets down. She's like sliding all the way down, and a car goes past, doesn't see her, and she just pulls herself out into the middle of this snowy, icy road. Maybe another dumb decision to add on to the list. But the way that their luck had been going so far in that whole movie, I'm like, there's a car is just gonna totally run her over, and I'm like, is that total? They can't end the movie with her just getting ran. Like she makes it off of this ski lift, away from the wolves, down the
Yeah.
mountain, sliding on her stomach, hands ripped up, frostbite. I'm like, a minivan's not going to run her over, is it?
I
And it
mean, it
almost looked like
could.
it did. It was almost looked like it did too, because the guy like kind of slid, slide to miss her. And
Well, my thing is, I don't understand why you would even go out into the road. It's not like he couldn't see her. She's wearing pink.
right,
Like, just stay on the side. Because I'm like, I mean, I don't know about most people. I mean, I don't drive in snow tons, but I've driven in it. Slamming your brakes on, you're gonna go. Uh,
you
you're
don't stop
probably gonna
immediately.
slide. Yes.
No, I have that every winter here, and I'm like, if somebody's trucking along, and all of a sudden they're like, oh no, there's somebody in the road, they can't always stop. And
Yeah.
um,
And it looks
yeah,
pretty slushy still too.
yeah,
So I was just like, this dude is just gonna slide into her and just cream her. I'm like, okay.
yeah. No, that's I was totally waiting, but I literally in my head I'm like, there's no way they're gonna have her just get ran over. There's no way. I was like, they can't just like. So luckily she got out of there, but I was a little bummed, and I think it looks like Mika was too. That initially thought she
See?
was going to be hit. Yeah, yep. I thought that as well. It sucked that he did all of that and still wasn't able to make it.
Yes.
I thought he was going to maybe pull through because he was, kind of didn't care for her a whole lot at the beginning, being the third wheel, but they had a little bit of a, they've been through all this, and they had a moment on the ski lift where they kind of bonded and made up a little bit. And I was like, oh, maybe they're going to pull through it, but no.
Well, the scene that got me with them getting their relationship, like their bond, was when he was holding her head so
Yeah.
she wouldn't see. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And I'm just
Yes.
going, okay, he's a good dude.
Yep.
That's a good guy.
Yeah. No, that was so. I was going to ask you, maybe that will be it. Like a scene that really stuck out to you. I'd have to say that was one that stuck out to me a lot. So the Dan is on the ground with the broken legs, and the wolves. He's still alive, and the wolves go at him. And that moment, like you said, when Lynch grabs her, like covers her face and tries ears and like don't look, trying to cover her, so she couldn't hear anything that was going on. That one kind of jumped out at me. I was like, that was a tense scene.
Well, to me, that's also a very realistic,
Yeah.
especially if you're with a guy. I mean, me being female, I've I've been in situations where you don't need to see things type deal.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's not because you're a chick and you can't handle it. It's just an innate thing in a male that I've noticed being 34
Yeah.
that they want to protect you. And he's trying to protect her, and his friend is yelling at him to not let her see it. So
Yeah.
he's going to
Yeah.
respect that as well. And it's like, that is a good dude. Even
Yeah.
if he didn't really initially like her, he was just like, no, I'm not going to let this happen.
Yeah. no, and I forgot about that. Like you said, that hit me too. And when Dan, I have to keep on looking down at it.
That's
Dan,
fine.
uh, when he knew what was going to happen, and it started, and he's like, "Don't let her see this," or I can't remember the exact
Yes.
line, but basically, "Don't let her watch. Don't
Hmm.
don't let her watch this." And that was, I don't know, that kind of stood out to me too. But can you think with this movie, is there, if you could talk to the director and go back and say, would there be one thing, and if not, that's fine, but would there be anything you'd tell them to do differently that would have made it better for you?
I
And if you
think,
don't, that's fine.
I think, I just, the wolf thing,
Yeah. Yep.
especially because they also sat there. I mean, granted, I have no idea how New England is. I've never been there. And I think that's where it was, like in the New England area.
Yeah. Yep.
And I was just like, they're like, oh, it's really rare type deal. Now, where I live, I could see that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'll have wolves, but mountain lions
Yeah.
would, those are things I won't mess with. But I'm
Sure.
just sitting there, I'm like, okay, I understand you're adding this tension, but to me, you needed to make it slightly more believable. I would do give them props for not going Twilight werewolf. They actually used
Yeah. Yeah.
wolves.
Wolves. Yep. Yep.
They
Like
didn't
real wolves.
CGI them,
Right. Exactly.
but um, that's about it. I think that if they still wanted to use it, I think that it needed to be uh, handled differently.
Yeah.
It's not this terrible thing that's going to turn you away from the movie, but I just think that that's its huge, well, not huge, but it's little fault to me.
Yeah.
Outside of the other stupid little things that you only notice if you're somebody who like really pays attention, which I do, but I don't really care.
Yeah.
If oh, they don't have the makeup perfectly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Like I don't care.
Right. Yeah, Mika was just saying that she agrees too. Yes, thank goodness they
Yeah.
used real wolves. LOL. But no, I agree because that, yeah, that, and it doesn't age as well either. So I think the movie will hold up better if you would say, like, if you watch this. I mean, now it's 13, almost 14 years later,
Mhm.
and think if they would have used the CGI that would have been available in 2010,
Mhm.
it that it would look so much worse than, yeah, it would help. It helps it age a lot better
Yes.
with that. I'd have to say the one thing I would ask, or I don't know, but that I would talk to the director. Not that I'm like, oh, I'm,
Oh no, it's fine.
yeah, the director will look at me and be like, who are you to? But maybe the thing that fell a little flat to me was the ending. That was a little bit her getting down the hill and getting picked
What would
up on
you
the
have
road.
liked then?
I don't know. That's what I was trying to think of. It just felt a little underwhelming to me. They've been through all of this, and okay, you've had two. Not saying she's got to like go hand to hand fight the wolves, but okay, we had like two like major wolf takedowns
Yeah.
in the movie, and they kind of let her skirt by because they're still working on Lynch. They were still eating him,
Mhm.
and I don't know. That's a good question, and I probably should have thought that through a little bit more. I just felt like it just fell a little flat for me. I don't know if it needed to just have a little more. But then again, I probably would be saying the opposite. Like if she would have had some big, like I said, I'm not asking for a big battle with the wolves or something along those lines, but it just kind of seemed like we had all these big events happening, and then she kind of just slid down the mountain,
Yeah.
and but
Well,
but
I can see that. The only thing that kind of makes it's more believable to me because if you watch or if you read about any like actual survival, like say 127 hours
okay,
with the one with James Franco. Have you seen that movie?
I have not. I know what you're
Okay,
talking about, but I've
where he
not
gets
seen
his
it.
arm stuck in between the
Yes.
boulder.
Yep. I
Okay.
know that. Yep.
So I mean, in all actuality, the endings, if they do survive, kind of are underwhelming because they just get saved.
Yeah.
Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
But
No.
I
Yeah.
can see where you're coming from because I mean, it is. You're just like, wow, they did all this shit, and then that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get
But
it though.
yeah. I yeah, I definitely would have been it would have been twisted if they would have had the minivan run over her though, you know, and just.
I mean,
But I was waiting for that. I was like, are they gonna seriously after
would it
the
have made a better ending?
no, no.
No,
I would have probably this sounds horrible, but I probably would have laughed just because I would have been like, they
I would
actually
have.
did that? They actually did like literally she survives all of this and she gets ran over by a minivan in the middle of a road.
Well, I mean, this was kind of like the start of let's make every ending as depressing as possible.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, why didn't they do that?
Yeah.
Especially then. But maybe he wanted another movie after this. So
You
maybe
never
that's why they
know.
gave him a happy ending.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, she gets yeah, I don't know, that'd be interesting, but we'll see what Gizmo was saying here. He says it bugs the living hell out of me in the film how the wolves is in the film wolves not attacked a person for over 100 years and the wolf in the film is so strange when they attack.
It's understandable.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and it's and like how hard they went after him and then after the second guy as well, you know, too.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, to have two of them and if it's supposed to be not common. Is it in the film that the girl has cat or dog at home, a kitten or a am I remembering
I
wrong?
think it
I
was
believe
a
it was a
dog.
dog. It was a dog, I want to say.
Yeah, because she said, well, he said, oh, the neighbors will call because he'll start barking.
Yes, yes. I thought I remembered something like, oh, it's a dog, because I didn't know at first either. But she
Yeah.
was afraid of like, oh, my pet is going to think I just abandoned them and they're going to die of starvation. But
Yeah.
yep, I believe it was a dog. Look at her. Even then, everything going on, she's thinking of her dog. We get attached to those darn things.
You do.
Yeah, like bad. It's we had a dog. Our dog before this one. We had her for 13 years,
Hmm.
and it was just a bad accident that happened. But you know, that was I don't know. It's crazy how attached you get to them. We'll just say that. It's
Very much so. I
yep,
understand.
yep. So let's see what Gizmo is saying here. Oh no, I already said that one. Holland. I would have liked this alternate ending. The alternate ending with a minivan running over her. Holland, you twisted individual. So
It'd be like the alternate ending for The Descent.
yeah, right. Exactly, exactly. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do, well, I'm gonna go ahead and take the ticker off. I know we probably lost some people because of this the spoiler talk, but that's okay. It's like you were saying. Even if I knew nobody else would have jumped on this, I was interested to talk to you, you know, get to know you a little bit better and have a chat. So, and I'm just thrilled when somebody else is like, yeah, I'll talk about movies or
I'll
music with
I'll talk
you.
about whatever, honestly.
Yeah. So that's also, no, it's fun to do. But what I was going to get to, I'll just see what Gizmo, that should have been the ending, a slow mo shot of the girl and the cat smoshing together. Gizmo is an interesting fella. He's a good guy. He's
That's
funny.
funny.
Yeah. So, what did you? How did you rate this movie then? So, when you did you go out on Letterbox then? Did you change your score from anything that you had before, or how do you rate movies? Do you do the star rating?
Hmm.
I thought you did. I thought I saw it out there.
Um, well, I started using Letterbox in 2021.
Okay.
So I didn't have this one logged in there,
Mm-hmm.
but I gave it 4 because
Okay.
here's my thing. I rate things on how rewatchable something is or how
Okay.
much I just enjoy it. I'm not like just thinking I'm a freaking critic. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I
Yeah.
honestly I can't stand critics most of the time
Yeah.
because it's very rare I ever agree cuz like
Yeah.
I personally don't understand how like you would give this movie like a star. Did you
Yeah.
finish the movie?
Yeah.
Cuz if you finish a movie, I think it's more than a star.
Yeah.
Cuz I mean there's movies I've turned off and it's half. Here's a half for you.
Yeah.
Even if I could give you no rating, I'd
Yeah.
give you that. But
Yeah.
which I think I've only given that to 2 movies since using that.
Okay.
But oh, I don't mind it because I'll rewatch it again.
Yeah.
What about you?
So I'll just, I guess, cut to the chase. I had fun with it. I had fun with the movie. Like you said, you're not looking for a. You knew I knew what I was getting into with it,
Hmm.
and I picked it because out of the three that we were talking about, because I was like, um, I knew I didn't see it. I think I saw parts of it after I started watching it, but I definitely did not remember a lot of it if I did see it.
Okay.
Um, but I did have fun with it. I'm struggling a little bit. I've always kind of been very elementary with my like reviews of movies, where I've pretty much been like, oh, thumbs up, or like, oh, it's kind of so, or no, I didn't care for it. Um, so in Letterbox, I just started using it this year,
Hmm.
and so I'm newer to that. I've been logging movies, and I've been throwing like a heart on some that I'm like, oh, I started putting less of them hearts on some of them, just because I was like, it doesn't mean I don't like them if there's not a heart, but I'm like, maybe I should save that for a little more be a little more selective how I throw that out.
Gotcha.
But I haven't done the star rating on it because I'm trying to, I don't know, equate that in my head, like my feeling to a movie to a number,
Yeah.
basically. And I'm having a hard time with that. And then I also run into people have a big range of how they feel you should use. Like if it's a 5-star rating, to me, in a 5-star rating, in my mind, when I'm starting to think about it, I could give something a 3 and still think it's a really fun movie that I would rewatch again. Like
Hmm.
that's I know other people that if you give something a 3, that's junk. Like they would never return to watch it. So even that is there's a big variance of how people view those stars.
I get you.
Do you,
I see. I'm very much somebody, I don't care what other people think.
yeah, yeah,
I have gone my whole life not giving a single shit.
yeah. No, I get it.
So,
Yeah,
but I understand why other people don't, because, maybe they don't like how you're saying. You're just kind of like, well, I don't really know where it lands type deal, but I
yeah.
do, but I don't. And that's fine. I mean, I know one of my buddies, um, he lives up in Canada. He used to do like star ratings, and now he just logs them. So if he posts them, I'm always like, Tim, how do we feel about this movie, sir? Like, you need to tell me, like, because he's very much, he likes the superhero movies, like, like Marvel and DC,
Yeah.
and then he's been getting more into everything else, and he's finally getting into horror.
Okay.
But like, I think the last movie I bugged him about was that there's a Batman Christmas movie thing, the animated
Oh,
one on Prime,
okay.
and he watched it, and he just put it up that he watched it, and I was like, "Sir, you need to elaborate to me. You know you can trash a movie with me. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to hurt my feelings. Even if it is one of my favorite movies ever, you could tell me it sucks, and I'll be like, "Well, that sucks to be you then."
Yeah. Because I enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Well, I tell you what, that was something I've been thinking about, and I think for 2024, maybe that will be my New Year's resolution. I'm going to start putting stars on the movies, not just log, because it sounds like I was like your buddy, where I was just logging them, and
Yeah.
once in a while throwing a heart next to some of them.
Yeah, he'll do that too.
Yeah,
Or do the little rewatch, little
yeah,
symbol.
yeah. Well, and I ended up putting that on this one just because, and maybe I shouldn't have, but there was bits of it. I'm like, okay, I remember this happening, but I did not remember any. It was basically a first time watch for me. So there's some of those things, and I have never gone back. Like when I first got the app, I started going through and oh, going back all the movies I could think of that I've watched before and putting that I've logging it or that
Hmm.
marking as. And I stopped because it was driving me nuts because of like, okay, there was so many movies I've seen. I know that.
Well, half of my collection, like, there's maybe a handful I haven't. Even probably 20% of it in my letterbox.
Okay.
Because, like, I've seen all these movies, but it's just like, I haven't rewatched them lately, or I haven't been in the mood type deal.
Yeah.
And I'm not somebody who, especially in recent years, really cares about new releases all that much.
Okay.
Because if I'm being honest, when I look at people's like, oh, it's 2023 movies, like the movies they've seen, regardless of how they feel about them. I'm like, oh my god, there's that many movies that came out this year. I've seen maybe 30. I just a lot of movies just don't interest me anymore, like new stuff.
Of the newer releases that are coming to the theaters.
Yeah, like I think the one I want to see next is the Iron Claw. Like I love
Oh
wrestling movies. I'm
man,
not a wrestling fan, but I love those movies.
that one looks good. I
It
think.
does.
Yeah.
I'm like, sign me up. I don't care that it's A24. Like people hold that company to the highest standards, and I'm just like, bro, that company was nothing a couple years ago, and now all of a sudden it matters. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Now
not
they're a
saying they don't
boutique
put good.
label.
Yeah, I'm like I like their movies. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong, but it's just kind of like stop. They're not Warner Brothers or even honestly Disney catalog yet. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that they couldn't be, but those companies have 100 years.
Right.
Get going, sir.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, exactly. No, I was actually having trouble. Some people had invited me on some streams before, or some of the few that I've done, where the question came up of like your favorite 2023 release that you've watched this year. And
Hmm.
I was having a hard time picking something other than, I kept on saying the same one because I think I fell into the boat where I was going back and diving into some older movies. And it just seems like so many of the films I was watching were not released this year. I mean, some as far back as the 30s
Hmm.
to 2 years ago,
Yeah.
so, but the one I was throwing out was one that I didn't see in the theater. It didn't really, at first, I'll be honest, it didn't interest me, but then, a couple friends were like, oh, you got to check this out. And I'm not saying it's a masterpiece, but I had fun with it. Was Cobweb.
Well, it
Um,
was a good movie.
I had a lot of fun with it. So
Hmm.
that's the one I'm like throwing out all the time because I like I hold up one finger and I say a one whatever, you know what I'm saying. Uh, I really enjoyed that movie. I think that could have done so much better if they planned the release of it differently.
Oh yeah, I was like, why did this get swept under the rug and was just like, here, have it?
Well, wasn't it like in the summer it came out or something? I mean, it was
I
not
think
around.
so.
It was not around. If they would have waited till the fall or around Halloween, I
I think
think.
it was August.
Was it August? I just
Let me
remember
let me look.
thinking. I'm not saying you're wrong. I
No,
saying I don't
I want to
remember.
know because I'm just like, when did this movie come out?
But if it would have been released around Halloween, I think it could have done so much better in the
Oh,
theater.
without a doubt. I don't understand
Well, it
why
had all
it
the
didn't.
themes going on with it too. That
Oh, come
I already
on.
read that. I was gonna see what's going on in the chat too. No, if you're looking that up, that's fine. I was just peeking
Okay.
at the chat real quick, and um, oh, Mika was saying she definitely rewatch Frozen. Had a fun time with it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and have you ever seen Frozen? What'd you think? Oh, now they're talking about the Disney and
Which
joking.
princess are you though? Are you Elsa or are you Anna?
I'm seeing Elsa thrown around a little bit.
Okay, it says release date October 20th. That's a lie.
No, that's not, I was going to say
That's
it
what it says on
can't be.
IMDb. Hold on.
Okay. It can't be because I remember.
It wasn't. I
Okay.
watched it in the summer.
Well, I bought the physical before Halloween.
Same. That's why I'm like, when did this movie come out?
Mika was saying Cobweb was one of
Okay,
her faves of the year as well.
that's a great movie. I watched it on September 7th.
Okay.
So it had to have come out August, September, something. Because I want to say I didn't watch it initially when it came out.
Yeah.
So it was probably. But they do that though. They will throw. Oh, maybe it was July.
Oh, yeah. Mika was just
I
saying it
don't
might have
know.
been July.
But they do that. They'll throw. Because, like, when did Saw X come out?
Oh, yeah.
Was
Uh,
that October too? I don't know. I haven't even watched it. So I don't
uh,
know.
I haven't seen it yet either. Actually, there's quite a few of the Saw movies I haven't seen. So, but I'm gonna try to remedy that. They had one big sale on the first 8. There was a
Good luck.
Blu-ray set. What's that? Good luck.
Good luck.
Well, I've heard like I've only don't make fun of me, but I've only seen the first one.
I've seen I've
3.
seen 1 through 3
Yeah.
and Spiral.
Okay.
And I saw the third one in theaters
Okay.
because I actually remember it was in high school, and yeah, I was in high school still, and it was homecoming game, and it
Okay.
was freezing, and I literally looked at all my friends like a group, and we're sitting there at the football game, and I was like, "So do y'all just want to leave and go see Saw 3?" And everybody's like, "I guess I really don't. That doesn't sound like
Yeah.
a great time." But it was like 3 rows of teenagers, and people that were
Oh,
coming
that'd
were
be
like,
fun.
"Oh my god." But because everybody knew I liked movies out of my friends, and we had some people that were like acquaintances too that came. And I was like, if you talk during this movie, I am punching you in the throat.
Yeah.
Be quiet during this, unless it's like a reaction.
Right. Like a big scene,
And
like a scream or something.
yeah,
Or yeah.
because everybody was like, oh God, there's this many teenagers in here. This is going to be terrible. But no, we all sat there and everybody was so intrigued with it. And I remember thinking it was okay, but
Yeah.
I just, I guess they're just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad people like them and there's that many for people to watch
Sure.
because that's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's not make Halloween end,
Yeah.
please,
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
like the Halloween movies.
Right.
Even some are bad, but I still like them.
Keep them coming.
Yeah, see, and then you got Saw. Didn't they just announce Saw 11?
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
So
I did see that.
good on them.
Yep.
Keep
Keep on.
milking it.
Yep, exactly. Well, I'm sure the theaters don't mind too because it brings people into the theaters and watch them. But speaking of that, do you I know you're kind of out, you know, kind of further away from some things, but if you had a preference, would you rather watch a movie let's say a horror movie. Would you
Mhm.
rather watch it at home on your TV or in a theater?
Um,
Or it
it
depends.
depends
Yeah.
because like this year, I I saw quite a few movies in theaters. This was the first
Okay.
time I'd gone to theaters this much since 2019.
Cool.
Because the last movie I saw before everyone freaked out was The Invisible Man, and that was February of 2020.
Okay.
And then I remember my theater in my town because I was still living in California. I didn't move until 2022, but they opened the the parking lot. They got one of those like projectors and then a screen.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So they opened up in July because I lived in a small town in California, so
Yeah.
no one abided by those rules people were doing.
Yeah.
So we still were living our life.
Yeah.
But I didn't like I just stopped because I was just like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
And then the first movie I went to see in theaters after everything was The Black Phone.
Oh, okay.
And I love that movie.
Yeah.
And I got shit for that too. So I was just like, whatever.
Who cares?
But I think I only went and saw like two, two or three movies last year.
Yeah.
And then this year, I've seen tons. And I actually went and saw Evil Dead Rise by myself
Okay.
because my mom usually goes to movies with me. And
Yeah.
she just looked at me. She's, no, I'm not
Not
going
for
to see
her.
that movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn it, woman. Like, it's just a cheese grater. And
Yeah.
she's just like,
That's
but
what I was going
even
to
then,
ask if she saw the commercial with the grater.
no, I told her about it
Oh, okay. Okay.
because she saw the remake with me and my brother
Okay.
back in 2013.
Yeah.
We took her to that.
Yeah.
And she just,
She was like, nah.
it was the razor. When
Oh.
she licks the razor, I'm just like,
Yeah.
that still makes me cringe to this
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. They have those
It
moments that will make you do that. Does
it
she
is.
does she like horror as long as it doesn't go too gory, or horror is not her thing at all?
Oh no, she's honestly, I mean, both my parents like horror,
Okay.
but she likes it more than my dad.
Yeah.
My dad can't tolerate a lot of stupid decisions.
Yeah. So Frozen might not have been one for him.
Nah, but he has seen it. He
Okay.
has seen it.
Okay.
because I told him and that I was going to do this, and he just, well, what's that movie again? And I told him, and he's like, oh yeah, when the wolves eat the people. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep. Yep. No. So cool. So did you get your love of watching horror movies with them? Like you grew up kind of watching some of them with them, or was that on your own?
No, I watched them with my brother too. My brother's
Okay.
3 years older than me, so when he got to a certain age, he could get things, and
Yeah,
I didn't need to have my parents or something.
sure.
But my my dad's coworker had a video rental business back in the day, and he would bring us movies. Like I remember he brought like Leprechaun
Mhm.
and Child's Play 3
Yeah.
because those were like the first ones I really remember watching, like
Okay.
horror movies,
Yeah.
and Phantasm
Oh yeah.
because I remember the tall man,
Yeah.
and I remember the videotape, and I was just like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
And then my mom was like, "Oh, you'll like it. Put it on," because she's seen it. And so we watched it, and I was like, "I don't like that guy. He
Yep.
can just go away."
Yep.
But
Yep.
yeah, basically, and then to this day, I'll watch movies with him. I'll
Yeah.
just be like, "We're watching this movie. Okay, bye."
That's no, that's cool. I actually growing up, I went to the theater quite a bit with my mom, so it was kind of a fun thing. But the poor lady, she was so nice because she just wanted to like. There would be times where I wanted to see stuff before I could drive, or even when I could, we still would go to movies together once in a while. But
Mhm.
she is not one for any type of violence at all.
Gotcha.
So a funny story that I had is it was a little different, I guess, or maybe not, but there was a little difference. I think I'm a little older, so or a lot older, but we'll just
I highly doubt you could be my dad, so it's not that old.
probably not. But I'm just some days I feel older than others. But uh, it was I want to say it was in I went. It didn't seem like as big of a deal like sometimes taking a kid to a rated R movie that I wasn't like 5 or something, but I wasn't driving yet, and we went to I think it was RoboCop, and
Okay.
the poor lady. So have you've seen RoboCop
Oh, I
before?
love RoboCop.
Okay,
There's a
that's
lot of
awesome.
violence.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She did not make it through into that movie. She did not see him in the RoboCop suit. Let's just say that.
Well, that opening scene is pretty
Yeah.
intense.
So him being turned into the state that made him go to be RoboCop, she could. So I think it was the hand scene with the shotgun. You know when he's doing
Gotcha.
the
Mhm.
and yeah, poor lady. She's like She was like Corey, you can watch this. So at the time we were in a theater that was in a mall, and she was like, when this is done, meet me in the front. You know, it was before cell phones and
Yeah.
stuff, but uh, she went and shopped. She's like, I'm leaving. She was
Have a
sitting
good
with me.
time.
Yeah, she was like, come find me when you're done. But
At
yeah,
least she let you sit there and watch it, though.
yeah, she
'Cause,
was pretty. Yeah,
some
pretty.
moms would be like, "No, you're coming with me."
Well, she went back and forth on some things because
Gotcha.
this was also a time too where a time I like sound like I'm so old, but it was before the. I remember a lot of the hysteria leading up to getting the parental guidance stickers on albums
Mhm.
and everything. And there was a big scare. I remember there was like school meetings, people coming in to talk to the parents about all these hidden satanic messages in rock and roll music today in the 80s. And I remember the day my mom came back from one of those meetings just mad, angry. And I'm like, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Where are your cassette tapes? Where are your albums? Like she wanted to see both of them. And I
Yeah.
remember her bringing a ton of them out onto the dining room table and start opening up the liner notes to start reading. It's when they had all the
Oh,
lyrics
yeah.
spelled out.
I
And
love
I was
those.
like, but then I got to the point where I see which one she's grabbing and I'm just like, no, 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 mom, you don't need to read it. You don't need to read it. And oh yeah,
Which
there
one
was
was it?
well, the one that I remember freaking out about was I think it was on Van Halen OU812. It was
Oh,
black and blue.
mm, yeah.
Okay, sorry. I just remember her getting to that and reading the lyrics, and I'm like, I don't know, hearing them read out in a reading voice by your mother just kind of threw me for a
A
trip.
little
And
weird.
I was like, yeah, I was like,
She's
And
like, "Well, you just killed the song for me. Thank
yeah,
you."
thanks, mom. I can't listen to the OU812 anymore. But there was some other ones too. And then of course I had like Motley Crue, Theater of Pain, and there were some that had like the pentagram on the,
Yeah.
and so that of course was, but they even got to the point where they said, what was it like having somebody? So like another big one was Poison's album that had the full. It was almost like a devil face and had the big tongue coming out,
Okay.
but they changed the cover where it was like black and kind of ripped across, and you only see the
Gotcha.
eyes. So
Mhm.
that was the edited, censored version, and there was like a big thing like, oh, they're showing the tongue. That's like the tongue of the devil, or I don't know, but. I'd never been so scared of my mom in my life when she was like sitting there reading through like liner notes of my music.
That's funny.
But no, she's a great woman. But so she even to this day she called me. She's like, I want to come over and have a movie night with you. That she lives a little further away, but she's like, can I come over and I'll hang out with the family and we'll spend the night, or she'll spend the night and then we'll watch a movie
Mhm.
together. Because my stepdad doesn't usually watch what she wants to watch, so
Oh, okay.
I pulled some. We haven't set the date yet, but I have some older Christmas movies. She wanted to sit down and watch some nice,
Oh, okay.
like It's a
Yeah.
Wonderful Life, or
The good ones.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, some of the old classics. And so I was like, we can do that. So there
Well,
you go. I'm gonna have a movie night with my mom.
I I have them all the time, so.
That's awesome.
Well,
It's
my
great
thing
to
is,
have
like,
that.
they're only around so long.
Yep,
I
yep.
mean, who knows? I could go too. Who
Right. You
I don't
never
know.
know.
But no, it's I plus not that I don't like people or that I don't have like friends, I guess you'd say, but like it's just I've always just preferred my family because I'm just they like a lot of the things I like, so why
Yeah.
wouldn't I hang out with them? I
Well.
think the only thing that my mom had to get used to, and my dad, because I took both of them,
Yeah.
but when I started to listening to metal,
Okay.
especially screaming,
Okay. Yep.
so I even asked my mom to this day, like, when I was like, "What is the music, like, the genre that just surprised you that I listened to?" And she goes, "Not metal, but the screaming stuff."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah, I don't know." But she went to several concerts with me,
Yeah.
and they're all screaming. We actually got in a, mosh pit
Oh yeah.
one time, not purposely, but
Yeah.
it's kinda what happens when you go to Mayhem Festival,
Yeah.
and
You
they're
just
doing
get
a
pushed
huge
into one.
circle pit, and you're just, "What do I do?"
Yep. No place to go.
But yeah, I don't know, like, I wasn't, like, restricted tons, but, like, I wasn't allowed to listen to rap.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I don't really care. I've never liked it. It's just
Yeah.
not my cup of tea. Can't relate. I'm somebody who's gotta relate to music to
Yeah.
like it. I don't just maybe that's why I don't really like, it's not that I don't like them. I just can't connect with Ice Nine Kills
Yeah.
because I get the draw,
Mhm.
but I like, if I'm gonna listen to something that's similar is Motionless in White. They're a little bit different.
Yeah.
They'll actually sing about relatable things,
Yeah.
and they're actually really good live too.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then, like, with movies, it was mainly if it had sex.
Yeah.
You no, cover your
Yeah.
eyes.
Yep. No, they didn't fly at my house either. Like when growing
Yeah.
up, like they would go for, so like comparing those, RoboCop. My
Mhm.
mom seeing that and she's like, I'm walking out. You can stay and watch it. She was good with that. But if it would have been more on the sex side of things, she would be like, we're leaving. You're coming now. Like you're not
Oh,
gonna stay
exactly.
in this theater. And um, yeah, it was different. They not that she wouldn't didn't like the violence, but she could put up with that. But
Yeah.
so
Well, I don't know, it was just odd because it just wasn't a thing. Because it's like I knew the violence was fake,
mhm.
so maybe that's it,
Yeah.
but, I one of the most awkward things that has probably happened to me when I was a teenager, I went and I saw the first Underworld with my dad and my uncle
Okay.
because my my uncle and my aunt wanted to go to the movies, and my mom and my aunt wanted to I think it was The Manchurian Candidate or something like that.
Okay.
They wanted to go see that, and I was like, "No." No,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
There is a vampire werewolf movie.
I'm
That
there.
one.
Yeah.
Thank you. And my dad and my uncle were like, "I'll go see it. Plus,
Yeah.
Kate Beckinsale's hot. Put her
Yeah.
on." I was like, "Jeez, okay." I mean, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
She is a babe. I'll give you kudos. And
They were sold.
so we watched that, and then the second one came out, and I was like, "Dad, are we gonna go see it?" He's like, "Okay." So me and him went to go see it, unknowingly that there was a sex scene in it. Granted,
Yeah.
it's not like super risky. It's just really, let's do the close ups and let's make it look. And I'm just sitting there. I'm just going,
Just to be
oh God.
enough I'm
I was,
comfortable to be with
what
your
was I,
dad.
15?
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
15 sitting right next to my dad, and I'm just like, oh God, why is this happening to me?
Oh, that's too funny. You
And
got
I'm
to
just
have
sitting
some
there.
of
I'm
those
like,
experiences.
hurry, hurry, get this scene off, please. Just go back to them fighting.
You're like, I'm gonna go grab some popcorn. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom,
Yeah,
go
right. I'll be
hide
right.
for a while.
Yep, I'll be right back. But oh, that's too funny. But
Oh,
no, if you don't mind, I see a couple other people just jumping in real quick. If you're still good, I'll run through a couple more in
go
the
for it.
chat, and I always like saying hi. But Gizmo is saying, but that stupid face on the freak in the ending of Cobweb looked like the wife of Gollum.
Uh, I'd have to agree.
There
I
you
still
go.
liked it though.
Yeah, like I said, you'll get if you see Gizmo around. Sometimes he's got a fun sense of humor. So, Corey and Girl, have you been to Kingsland, Texas?
No,
I don't think I've been to Kingsland.
I've never been past Colorado.
What? You've
So
never
there's
gone?
that.
Never been east of Colorado?
I never had a need. I don't
West?
have any family
Yeah, but you
out
don't.
here.
Do you travel much,
Uh,
or do you like to stick around your region a little
we'll
bit?
see. Where I'm back in California, I didn't have to. I mean, LA was 2.5 hours away from me,
Okay.
and then San Diego was like 4. So I would stick around in there. And but since since the world went to shit, I
Yeah,
haven't. It's not that I'm afraid. Like that's not it. It's just kind of like
you're
I
good.
just rather stay at home. Like
You're good.
when I was moving here,
Hmm.
and I was driving through Vegas, I was just like, no. And I used to love Vegas, but it just is not the same city. And that's what I've heard about LA as well.
Yeah.
Not that LA was ever really that clean, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's gotten worse. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, I'm going to stay away. Thank you.
Yeah. I haven't been there in a while, but been to California a few times. But
Where at in
was
California?
um so a couple times that we were out there. There was two times we went out. We stayed in Carlsbad,
Okay. That's super
and
nice.
yeah, it seems like a nice. Things weren't quite as expensive, and there was still a beach there. But then we were driving distance to LA and San
Hmm.
Diego. And so while we were there, we did little day trips to either or, go down to, one thing that we had to do both times that the kids really fell in love with is we went down to, it was La Jolla Cove and
Hmm.
did kayaking out into the cove.
Gotcha.
And they had fun with that. Just seeing the dolphins come up. I mean, we had some things come pretty close to us
Hmm.
so there was that. And there was one time we found these like super cheap tickets. We flew into LA. We went somewhere just up north for like 2 nights because my daughter pretty much, if she can have a beach and ocean, she's happy. And
Yeah.
so we got to have a beach day in there somewhere. But then we drove from there to Sequoia National Park
Hmm.
and stayed there the rest of the trip and did hiking and stuff around the park. But that was beautiful area though. But
I still have never been there.
yeah, it was really nice. It was we were going to go to Yosemite, but it was in the summer and we heard it was just so crazy that Sequoia is different, but uh, it's like Sequoia and Kings Canyon, I think. I want to say the other one there. I don't know. We just went there and stayed at the lodging that they had and we had fun, but I'd like to get back and go to Yosemite sometime. But
Yeah. I've heard it's really nice. I always just go buy it because
mm,
I always just go to Tahoe.
okay.
I like Tahoe, and then I lived closer to like Mammoth
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. Like when it came to mountains. I mean, the
Hmm.
Sierras were literally, I could see them from my front door. You know what I
Sure.
mean?
Sure.
But they were kind of like on the, let's put it this way, if I went over the mountains, Bakersfield was right there.
Okay.
So,
Sure.
I mean, I could say the town, but I know that nobody knows it.
Yeah.
So, it's the only thing it might be famous. I mean, there's a ton of movies that were filmed there.
Yeah.
Like the scene in Iron Man when he's blowing it up and he's like doing
Oh,
this.
yeah.
That's
That's it.
that's I mean that's Lone Pine, but it's like really close.
Okay.
There's this movie called Just Add Water that
Okay.
has Jonah Hill, Danny DeVito. God, maybe Justin Long was in it. I can't remember, but that was literally filmed in my hometown and then in the little piece of crap town right next to
Yeah.
it. And then you have the Pinnacles. The Pinnacles. If you see any car commercial
Hmm.
and it looks like Alien, like it's like a spaceship type deal,
Yeah.
and you're on an alien planet, that is the Toronto
That's
Pinnacles.
it.
And if they're on a runway and you see mountains in the back, that is the airport, the little airport that's right outside my town. Well,
Okay.
that I'm from.
Cool.
Here, no.
Nothing.
I mean, I don't think so. There's too many Mormons around here, so
Yeah.
which I don't mind.
Yeah. Just not having you don't have the commercials and movies showing up around that area.
No, you have a lot of tourists because I live really close to Zion.
I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
Zion's beautiful.
you get
I
lots.
mean, I've seen pictures. I haven't been there, but
It's
I've
it's incredible.
I've been
It's
to
like
Arches.
the,
That's
I mean, that's about the same.
okay.
It's you can't describe it. It's almost trying to describe the Grand Canyon.
Hmm.
You That's my thing is like I mean, I think back east has it's super cool for its history
Yeah.
and I know that they have really pretty scenery, but you can't beat out here. It's like
Yeah.
the
Well,
the mountains out here are just insane.
and pictures don't do it justice.
Never. Because
I
you're
mean, it
like,
looks beautiful, but
yeah, you literally you look out, you're like, well, what am I? This is insane.
yeah,
Like this
when
is
you're
awesome.
standing next to it. But what we got here? Oh, I think this was going back to when you were talking about being a teenager with your big group, homecoming, going to the movie. Miko was saying we've had some really bad theater experiences recently. Poor theater etiquette, unfortunately.
I had that in Scream 6.
Oh yeah.
Those kids wouldn't shut up in that
Well,
movie.
it could ruin it for you. I had so one of my last. I haven't been to the theater a bunch this year, but
Uh-huh.
one of the last ones, our theater throughout the month they'll do a couple classic movies, and they only show them like twice in the month, and that's it. But they're
Mhm.
older movies, and so one of the last movies I went to was They Live. They were doing a re-showing of, Roddy Piper and the
That
whole
movie's
band.
awesome.
Yeah, and I was like, but I've never seen it on the big screen, so I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that'd be kind of fun. And so I'm one of those. I'll just go by myself, and I was sitting there in a small theater, but just to the row in front of me and just enough to my right, I could see this bright glow of this guy's cell phone, and he just kept on. And
Oh my
we were getting into the movie a ways, and it was seemed to me bright when you're in a dark theater.
Mhm.
It was driving me insane, and I was so close to going to saying something. He finally put it away, but I mean, it was way more than the opening credit scenes. I
Yeah.
mean, I was driving me nuts.
I don't understand what is the point. I
What
when I go into a theater, I'm just like, don't bother me.
Why did you pay to come in here if you don't want to,
Exactly.
if you don't want to watch it even? So I know I'm super late to this, but Cal L. Daly is here or was here. But Cal, thanks for jumping in. Corey, hey, what up, dude? How much? Thanks for dropping in, man.
Do we still have people watching?
We have we have eight.
Oh, hey.
We have eight.
It's pretty
We we
rad.
we dropped quite a bit when we went into
The
the movie
spoilers.
section. Yeah, and so
Gotcha.
maybe I'll have to rethink this whole thing. But nonetheless, I just have a blast talking to whoever I have on here. So that's fine with me. But yeah, it's going between like 7 or 8. But at any point we can start wrapping up too. I don't want to keep you too long, but I was having fun just talking along here. But there's something about watching horror movies as a collective. Yeah,
Definitely.
you get those scare scenes and you hear everybody do the
Well,
jump.
it's true because like one of my favorite experiences was Quarantine, the remake of Wreck,
Yeah.
the American version. Not that that movie is fantastic, but the theater experience was phenomenal. There was a
Okay.
group of ladies, and it was me and my mom, and then this it was like maybe there was a bachelorette party, I don't know, but there was a handful of them that were very animated,
Mm-hmm.
and it was hilarious just watching this because I don't get really jump scared. You know what I mean? Like, they
Yeah.
don't really work on me because I'm just like, "Oh god, here we
Yeah.
go."
Right.
But not that I think they suck, it's just kind of like they don't get me. Kinda sucks, but with that, I was just like, "Oh my god, this movie is so much better because these women are just having a blast." And you could tell
Yeah.
that some of them don't really like horror movies, but they were
Yeah.
just like, "You gotta tough it out."
Well, I found sometimes too with horror movies that the people reacting so loudly or jumping in certain scenes makes it even scarier for me because you kind of get the jump
Yeah, you're
scare
just like,
from the
"Oh."
people around you, and you're like, oh, and you get it even more so. But I definitely can see that.
I was trying to think. There was some movie oh, well,
Sorry, no, I'm
no,
sorry.
you're fine.
He was
I
talking
get
about
it.
the second Underworld,
Yeah,
probably.
I get it. But, like, God, my mom does the jump scares now that she's older for some
Okay,
reason. She goes, I don't know, you just change." And then I can't remember which movie it was, but we were watching something. Maybe it was the Scream 6 because I remember it was recently,
yeah,
and she jumped, and I just looked at her, I was like, are you serious? Don't do that to me. This is Scream. Like,
yeah,
come on."
yeah.
It just got me. I'm like, "Good grief, woman. Get out of here."
That's what I hate. Sometimes jump scares, I'll get caught by them and I'll be like, okay, I way overreacted on that
Yeah.
one. Like even when I'm by myself, I'm like embarrassed for myself. I'm like, okay, that should not have made me
Well,
react
I'm
like
like the type that just like if something is scaring me,
that. Hmm.
I just get tense. Like I get so tense and I just get quiet.
Yeah.
And I'm just watching like I don't care if this is ridiculous, but the paranormal activity movies scare
Yeah.
the hell out of me.
Yeah.
The that third one when the kids Toby yanks the hair, I was just like, "Bro,
Done.
no. I get out of here. I don't like demons.
Yeah.
Please leave, sir."
Yeah.
It's one thing to be a ghost, but to be a demon? No.
That's another thing.
I'm gonna check out on that one.
Lauren, thanks for stopping in. You have a
Oh,
great night
you
too.
too.
I understand that. And oh, been loving the conversation. Thank you, Mika.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for hearing us just like jabber on, but I love it. Like I said, I have fun doing this, and this was kind of part of it. I was kind of going off the cuff a little bit, so wherever it ended up going, we went. But um, like we kind of start wrapping up here if you want to. I like I said, I keep on going, but I want to be respectful of your time too. But I was kind of curious. So we're coming into the holiday season and everything. Do you have any must-watch Christmas movies that you put in that you
Oh,
like?
yeah.
Oh, okay. What do you mind
Oh,
talking about them for just a moment, or
alright, I'll give you a handful.
okay,
So, of course, Home Alone 1 and 2,
okay,
without a doubt.
yeah,
It has Christmas Vacation.
yeah, yeah,
That is my all-time favorite.
yep,
And then It's a Wonderful Life.
yep,
I don't care. I know I get crap for this, but Anna and the Apocalypse has become one of my absolute favorite movies for this time of year. It is so outrageous. It should not work, but it does. And if you don't like musicals, I know it's not for you, but
not to cut your list off there, but I have not seen it yet. But I have it marked on. I have Shutter right now. I started
okay.
check, and it's on there. And I had a couple people. I think Mika and Kira might have posted something about it
Yeah, I think they
too.
watched it the other day at some
Yeah,
point.
yeah. I thought I remember them posting it, and they said they had fun with it. So I have
Oh, I
that
love it.
marked. I gotta watch it.
I made my mom watch it with me
Okay.
because I was just like, because she was like, "Oh, I want to watch a Christmas movie." I was like, "Okay,
Yeah.
well, you're gonna watch a new one with me.
There
It's
you
a
go.
new classic." And she just goes, "Oh my god, what is it?" I was like, "It's a zombie musical
So
around Christmas."
I gotta watch that. I mean, how can you not watch that? You
She
got to check it out.
kills people with a candy cane. Like,
Well, it kind of looked like it. Yeah.
come on, it's fantastic.
Yep. I will be watching that one. But
But like
any
other
others?
ones, I love Scrooged. I already
Okay,
watched
yeah,
that one.
yeah.
Um, why am I blanking?
It's hard when
Oh,
you're just sitting here and talking.
The Family Man.
Oh
Nicolas
yeah,
Cage. Oh my god, I love that movie.
I haven't seen that one forever, but
I
yeah,
already
that's
watched it too. It, it is to me it's my favorite movie of his.
yeah,
He's done a lot of awesome stuff, but
yeah.
ooh, The Family Man hits me in my feelings. So I'm just like, okay,
I
I
I could
like
see
it.
that. That one had a lot of for Nick Cage. I thought that was a lot of feeling for him. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but Mika was saying Christmas Vacation, hands down my favorite. Love Anna in the Apocalypse.
See, I always
So
appreciate it.
I'm not gonna argue with Ashley and Mika and Kira. So I'm gonna be watching that one now here for sure. But
Well, what's funny is I don't really I like musicals, like certain ones.
mhm.
Like I love Grease. Are you kidding me? That movie's awesome.
Yeah.
And then I don't mind Sweeney Todd. I know that one
Okay.
gets a lot of crap. What else? Oh, like I mean, would you consider like The Wizard of Oz and like Willy Wonka? I
I
mean,
would
those are musicals. There's music in it.
yeah, and they kind of break into song.
Yeah,
Like so
that's what musicals typically do.
that's
So
what I
I'm
mean. I
just
mean, they're
like,
not doing it the whole time, but yeah, I wouldn't argue with somebody saying it's a musical.
yeah, and I'm just like, I understand if you don't like musicals. Like, I can't do the um that Les Mis, I think it is.
Yeah.
No, no, thank you. But if you're into that, I've heard it's really great. You know what I
So
mean?
yeah, no, so talking about musical though, like some more recent ones. Are you a fan of La La Land at all? Or
Yeah, I liked it.
yeah,
I think I need to rewatch it. It's not that I didn't like it. I like it. I don't know if I love it.
yeah,
Like most people love that movie. I'm like,
yeah,
I need to give it a rewatch.
yeah. I enjoyed it more than I was expecting, but yeah, I'm kind of there where it's not. I'm not saying like
Well,
greatest movie ever, but
yeah,
I enjoyed it more than I was expecting.
it's hard not to when you have a cast like
Oh
that.
yeah,
Like Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. Thank you.
yeah,
Another one, please.
yeah. Well, and they've done a few, so
Exactly.
they're a good matchup. So Holland was saying I just watched The Family Man last week. First watch, really good.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
I feel like that movie got kind of just pushed to the side. Like I saw it in theaters back in the day,
Yeah,
but I know a lot of people are like, "Wait, what's that?"
yeah.
If you haven't watched it, oh my god, watch The Family Man. Please do. It's great. And you
No,
got Don Cheadle. I
yeah,
love that he just like shows up in his Ferrari and he's just like, "Yeah, it's my car now. Thank
yeah.
you."
That's funny. I kind of forgot about that. Yeah, it's been. I remember
Yeah,
liking it, but it's been a long
he's
time
like the
since.
angel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
But
good.
I mean, I like Santa Claus. I
Yeah,
like Tim Allen.
yeah.
And then horror wise, oh, Black Christmas, the
Oh,
original. I don't mind the remake. I think it's funny. It's silly.
yeah,
And again, I think people took it too seriously.
yeah,
I'm just like it's like Sin City meeting Black Christmas.
yeah,
You got a yellow guy killing people. It's
yeah.
fantastic.
No, that's
But
awesome.
oh, and then Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Always.
yeah,
I don't mind the second one. I know that one gets a lot of crap because it's just like like just retelling of the first one.
yeah.
But I don't mind it. But as far as I remember, both of those movies were filmed in Utah. So
Oh, okay.
I,
There you
there
go.
you go.
There
Got
you
some
go.
movies here.
Yeah. No. So no, I will. I was gonna say we'll go ahead and wrap this up. But I absolutely enjoyed this chat with you, going through the movie. I was so excited that you were willing to jump on and talk with me. I hope you had some fun with it too.
Oh, I had a blast.
All right.
This was a lot of fun. I mean,
Well,
if you ever want to do it again, I'm down.
okay. You're gonna regret saying that because I was already gonna ask. I was already gonna ask you. I was like, would you ever be up for a part two sometime?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I don't
Awesome.
I don't have lots going on.
Well,
So
it's fun to be able to do this. So I definitely would love to have another, whether it's this same format with, doing this movie club with the movie or having some topics and doing a chat. But yeah, I had a blast talking with you, and I'm so glad you were able to join today. So Thank you very much for coming on here.
Well,
But
thank you for having me.
yeah,
It was a lot of fun.
yeah. So I know when we drop off here, I think we'll be backstage for just a little bit. So if you hang on for just a moment, and I was just going to say, everybody that was in the chat is in the chat now. Thank you so much for coming in and joining. You want to see some awesome collection and pictures? Go check out Zombie Girl Ashley on Instagram. Or do you have anything else that you want to promote at all, or just
No,
no,
that's
no?
that's all I got. I'm not
Okay.
into the other um social medias.
Yeah, no, no, that's all right. Sometimes that's one's enough, right?
It's a lot, so yeah.
Yep. So no, thanks again for everything. Thanks everybody for jumping in, and we'll definitely talk to you all here pretty soon. So thank you.
Bye.